got to verify if I'm getting audio from my YouTube user. So give me a minute to get the program going. It's going to take a minute or so. Hopefully, YouTube. Yesterday, we logged into YouTube and we had problems with the audio. So I'm going to wait till right now. We're in the rerun segment. So as folks begin filtering in, and of course, type rerun if you're watching it in the reruns. So I always like to know who watches the repeats as opposed to the live broadcast. So if you can hear the audio, certainly type that in the comments. Can you hear the audio there? What does that say? Analyze or man, my eyes are getting bad. Uh, who's that in there? At least can you hear? Okay, sounds good. Says Chatty Ash. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so give me a minute to get my last stream going, and we'll get the party started momentarily. So she'll be in a minute or so. But damn, I tell you something. One of the worst things of getting old is eyesight. My God, and I actually do go to the eye doctor every 6 months or whatever, every 6 months. But I'll tell you, I'm actually noticing the degradation in eyesight from from doing these lives and shit like that. I've never worn glasses my whole life. I've always had decent eyesight. Left eye better than the right. I think all of us has one eye better than the other one, but shit. Nowadays, reading wise, I gotta have glasses on, and like I said, I'm not used to it. So, give me a second. I'm actually getting the last stream going while I'm talking to you folks, but yeah, it's not easy for me to have to put on glasses when I'm not used to wearing these damn things. But getting older, it happens. What's happening, Tim? We in here, CBOG Kush. Good evening to you. Happy Saturday to all of you folks. I'm merely getting this last stream up, and we should be able to start momentarily. Got a few questions to ask on just some of the goings on as of late, like watching the reruns on YouTube. Okay, fair enough. Take some lutein vitamins. I've never heard of that. Me too. Take vitamins will help your eyesight. I do take what is it called, the one a days or whatever. I'm on. And by the way, Kim Madison, we are on TikTok, the handsome liberal. Just so some of you folks may know, we do have two two pages on TikTok. I have a main page and a backup page. The main page is the handsome liberal spelled correctly. The backup page is if you take the final L off of liberal so that it looks like libera, the handsome libera is the backup page. So if you don't see me on one, I'm on the other. Right now I am on the main page, the handsome liberal spelled correctly. So that's where we're at. So give me a second here. I think we're just about ready to party. So it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Happy Saturday to all of you folks. What the hell is this thing telling me? Wait a minute, hold on. I'm doing something wrong again. God damn it, I hate this. Okay, I think we got it right. It says not made for kids. We know that. We know that. Just want to make sure. I'm trying to figure out why it didn't go straight to air. Oh, I think I know what happened here. And I don't think I can undo it. So you can't change start a new stream. So let me see here. I don't think we want to. Yeah, we don't want to do that. So um, I apologize for some of you folks that are watching me do this shit on real in live time. In live time. Anyway, I'll go ahead and start. Me too. You said it's for eye health. I've never heard that. Like I said, I do go to the eye doctor, but I don't like having to wear glasses. But I don't think it's going to be up to me any further. So I do have to sometimes do this and do that. Get him out of here. Send him straight to Iran. Who do you want sent to Iran? Listen, we're going to talk about the system being rigged. I'm sure many of you folks have heard this statement before coming from President Trump, but I want to, a la Charlie Kirk. You remember when Charlie Kirk was slain? Everybody often said, when you would discuss his isms, his statements, his quotes, you're taking them out of context. So I want to take into context this statement about the system is rigged. I think you know where it came from, and I want to give you the it's rigged 2026 version of it because President Trump was saying this as a campaign slogan 10 years ago, about 10 years ago. He was saying this during his presidential run for office. The first time he was saying this, for the first time he's running for office. In fact, we'll go ahead and discuss it in detail. Not that all of the live streams are going and we're actually live. And good evening to all of you folks. Thanks for tuning in on a Saturday night. Some of you folks may have just witnessed me really goofing up with my app. So we're going to get into the system is rigged. What I want you to hear is President Trump, just to jar your memory, because I got a follow up to this that I think is worthy of discussing.
I have joined the political arena so that the powerful can no longer beat up on people who cannot defend themselves.
Trump to the rescue.
Nobody knows the system better than me. Which is why I alone can fix it.
And I want you to hear this part right here. This is what he's known for saying.
I have seen firsthand how the system is rigged against our citizens, just like it was rigged against Bernie Sanders. He never had a chance. Never had a chance.
Now he goes on. Now he's talking about the 2016 election, obviously, indicating that the system was rigged against Bernie Sanders and the Democrat Party stole it from Bernie Sanders. The system was rigged. And by the way, there are plenty of folks who do agree with him on both sides of the aisle. Plenty of folks do agree with President Trump that the system was rigged on the left and the right. A lot of the Bernie bros, Bernie Sanders supporters do agree that the Democratic Party, Democratic establishment, stole the candidacy from Bernie Sanders. So here's Trump running on the promise that the system is rigged and he is going to correct that. Now, I want to give you a more modern clip, but before I do, got to respond to a super chat. Handsome Conservative says, some say he's the man, some say he's the legend, some say he's a truth teller. I say he's the only man is humble as, ladies and gentlemen, the handsome liberal. Appreciate that intro, handsome conservative. I don't get a lot of them that say I'm a truth teller. I get banged by both the left and the right. Criticize Trump, I get banged by the right. Suggest that Kamala Harris, this woman here, was not a good candidate, the left is all over me. So they don't always call me a truth teller, but handsome conservatives, thank you for your support. Appreciate that indeed. Thank you for your generosity. So you heard President Trump state that the system is rigged. And I see in the comments, Me Too says, I agree with him on that. Bernie was done wrong. Bernie Sanders was done wrong. I'll go into a quick spiel about Bernie Sanders real quick. Bernie Sanders, even if you believe he's done wrong, I want you to understand something. He ran as a socialist, very similar to President Trump being a populist. The reason Bernie Sanders was done wrong, and I'm not trying to justify it or say it was right, and I do believe that the Democrat Party shut him out. They shut him out because he wasn't a Democrat. The same way the Republican Party originally tried to shut Trump out because he was not a Republican. Bernie Sanders was a socialist. Trump was a populist, trying to get into parties that they were not part of because they needed the money to run. Bernie Sanders needed access to the Democratic coffers. Trump needed access to the Republican coffers. But Trump, do you look at Trump now that he's been in office for nearly 6 years? Do you look at him and suggest that that is how a traditional Republican governs? He's talked about everything from limiting gun rights to nationalizing elections. Is anything about Trump equivalent to a traditional conservative? And Bernie Sanders is the same way. He's not a traditional Democrat. The Democrat Party, a la Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, a la Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama likely, realized that if we let this guy climb to the top of the Democratic ranks, he's going to fundamentally change this party in a way that it will never be the same again. Maybe favorable, maybe unfavorable for the party. And they stopped Bernie Sanders from reaching the top. The same happened on the Republican side. There were plenty of folks behind the scenes fighting against President Trump, a la Jeb Bush. The Bush family didn't like him. In fact, none of the established Republican leaders in our lifetime, the McCains, the Romneys, the Reagan family that are left, the Bushes, none of them like Trump. For the exact same reason I pointed out with Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Obama, and Hillary Clinton. If we let this guy, now we're talking Trump, rise to the top of our party, just like Bernie Sanders, he may change our party fundamentally to something we don't recognize. Maybe favorable, maybe not. Unlike the Democrats, the Republicans were not able to stop Trump. And that party has indeed changed. Folks are calling it the MAGA party now. They're no longer calling it the Republican Party. They're calling it the MAGA party. That is likely what would have happened if Bernie Sanders. So when you say Bernie Sanders got screwed out, just wanted to deviate and tell you why. They were trying to save the party, good or bad. Maybe you favor what Bernie Sanders was offering more than what the traditional Democrats are offering. But they were trying to save their party. Republican Party did not save their party at all. They did not save their party. Their party is now to the point where all of the traditional Republicans that existed in our lifetime are no longer favored by the party. The Republican Party, MAGA, does not like the Bushes, does not like the McCains, does not like the Romneys, does not like what's left of the Reagan family. They do not like any of the traditional folks that used to lead their party. There you go. So you hear President Trump saying it's rigged. Now I want to bring you up to real time because this is what we're going to discuss before we start taking callers and reading in the comments. This came in a couple years ago. You're probably aware of this, coming off of ABC World News Tonight. But it won't take you long to get what I'm aiming at when we compare it to Trump 10 years ago, talking about how the system was rigged.
Down in Texas late today, President Trump saying Republicans are, quote, entitled to those additional seats, citing his victory in that state. Democratic lawmakers fleeing the state, trying to keep this from happening. Congressional maps being redrawn are generally tied to the census. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce.
Tonight, as the battle over the Texas congressional map rages on, President Trump now arguing Republicans are entitled to 5 more House seats there because he won the state.
I won Texas. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, as you probably know. And we are entitled to 5 more seats.
But
now you hear him saying, because he won Texas as a president, which has nothing to do with the midterms. Well, people vote because of it, but he's saying because he, as a president, was victorious in Texas, that he should get 5 more congressional seats, irrespective of what the people in Texas actually want. He just says, I should get 5 more seats. Rod S., appreciate you starting the program off right. Yeah, with the hat and mustache. Thank you. For you folks, certainly help your boy out with the hat and mustache TikTok cap goals. Thank you very much, Rod S., for your support. But remember, this is the president that originally stated the system was rigged. Now here he is nearly 6 years into office, 1 full term and a second term after saying it was rigged. He's about almost halfway through his second term after saying it's rigged. And he himself is now indicating, I would like to rig the system to get me 5 more seats. And that was successful. We all know what happened in Texas has been successful. And it's literally led to a gerrymandering war across America. So the obvious question we're going to be talking about is, Since President Trump came on the scene stating that the system was rigged, has it gotten better under his watch or worse? Has he repaired and fixed the rigging or made it worse? We're going to talk about that. In addition to that topic, we're going to be talking about rigged elections because that's what he came and walked on the scene talking about rigged elections. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I do want to, I've seen this one. I'm just going to play it for you because I can't believe yet another one. Some of you folks probably have heard this, but I'm going to play it because we're going to discuss it because it just falls into the category of more MAGA because these are MAGA.
That's the thing. I don't think this is a diversion from
Hodge twins.
No, this is a favor Trump's doing for Israel. Yeah, he got over $200 million from one person. Mm-hmm. So how much hundreds of millions of dollars did he really get? Yeah, this is campaign. This has nothing to do with terrorism. This is Zionism. This has nothing to do with freeing the people of Iran. No, they talking about blowing up their bridges, their power plant. They're gonna send them back to the Stone Age. Yeah, it's just another lie. Yeah, Trump was in the White House with a hat, "Make Iran Great Again." Yeah, it's just marketing. Trump is the best marketer, the best politician in American history. But now people on the right, especially MAGA, they can't call him out when you catch him in a lie. The guy is a pathological liar.
Now, you hear them going in on President Trump. They're joining the likes of Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens. I mean, God forbid, you heard Tucker Carlson the other day literally apologize.
Sure, yes. It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like, in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now. Yes. So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. We'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry for misleading people. It was not intentional. That's all I'll say.
So he's apologizing. Everybody's heard that clip by now. But what I want to ask is simple. Are these folks grifting? Are these former MAGA podcasters, are they grifting for clicks and likes? As Trump indicates, their shows are failing, they're losers, they're low IQ, and they're just simply trying to salvage what's left of their dignity for clicks and likes? Or do you believe what they're saying is valid? You just heard the Hodge twins indicate that Trump is a pathological liar. They didn't just say he lied about one thing or here or the other. They're calling the man a pathological liar, which means essentially he lies all the time. The Hodge twins, another MAGA-oriented. Who's left? Officer Tatum, Diamond and Silk? I mean, who is left? You're seeing MAGA podcasters, content creators flip. I mean, that's about, what is it, about 5 or 6 of them now? Candace, Tucker, Alex Jones. I don't know. Well, Alex Jones was, he was supporting Trump. Candace, Megyn Kelly, Tucker, Alex Jones. Joe Rogan was not MAGA, but he did support Trump. But Joe Rogan would probably not be somebody you'd say was MAGA, but he did endorse Trump. He just thought he was a better candidate than Kamala Harris. But these other folks, who's left? Mike Lindell? I mean, so are they grifting for extra clicks and likes, or is there some validity in what they say? And I'll take the callers next. Last one here. I want you to hear this, because this one just leads to an interesting question. I don't know, conflict of interest or just something worthy of asking.
Cryptocurrency. Back in 2021, he said this about crypto.
Bitcoin, it just seems like a scam. I don't like it because it's another currency competing against the dollar. I want the dollar to be the currency of the world. That's what I've always said.
Since then, he has changed his tune and he has said this.
We're making the United States the Bitcoin superpower, the crypto capital of the world. And it takes a lot of the pressure off the dollar. It does a lot of good things.
At the same time, according to Forbes, Trump has made an estimated $1 billion off of his crypto holdings. What does President Trump's embrace of crypto tell you?
that he's the most corrupt president in U.S. history.
Why?
And it's not even close. I mean, just take the obvious. And he's the main vehicle for his corruption is cryptocurrency. That's where the majority of the money that he's made in his brief time in office the second time around, where it comes from. He made a little money off of these meme coin things like Trump coin and Melania coin, but he made most of the money, he and his family had made most of the money off of a stable coin. I mean, it's so grotesque.
Now, I don't know if this is accurate or not. I'm not going to pretend like it is, but I did want you to hear it because this is an allegation being made. And Pizza Lover, I don't like to black ban or censor Pizza Lover, but spamming is probably the best way to make that happen. Pizza Lover, you're certainly welcome on the show anytime, but try to avoid the spamming. So we'll leave it open for you, but if you do it, we got to take you out. He said, block me. Okay, well, I mean, I can't do nothing but grant what you're asking for. So, and there you go. You have been officially blocked. So I will say this with the man suggesting, I don't know who the hell this guy is, and I'm not going to give him any credence of being accurate, but with the man saying that Trump made majority of his money from crypto, I just want to ask this question, and not saying that Trump did. I'm not saying anything this guy is saying is true. It's all allegations. But what I am going to ask is, do you believe the president of the United States should be able to have his own cryptocurrency? That's all I'm asking. Do you believe the president of the United States should be able to have his own cryptocurrency? So we're going to get into the program. You guys know how it's ran. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone unless they spam. Nothing I can do with that. Pizza Lover, who watches the program frequently, I guess he didn't like the direction of today's show. Big Dog, yeehaw! He appreciates the hat and mustache too. Same thing, James Harper. But you guys know how to rerun the show. We don't block, ban, or censor. We are MAGA friendly. That doesn't mean we don't question what Trump does, but we do believe in allowing MAGA to speak without censorship. We don't direct how your politics should be. You want to tell a host, fuck off, we allow that here. It's all about free speech here. You can be critical of anyone. I'm not excluded from that. Nevertheless, I do need you folks to tap the screen and get the likes on up to 15,000. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having a dinner with Q. In the comments, Evil B. Babu says, the man that knows all, the man that sees all, the man who is super, super gifted, by your chosen one, I present to you Saturday night and starring Jimmy Fallon big time, Tim Liberals, and the MAGA Rats. Put your hands together. Now, I'm reading that. I didn't make that up myself, so I appreciate the definite generosity there, Evil B. Babu. But that's a hell of an opening. The man that knows all, the man that sees all, the man who is super, super gifted. Am I? By your chosen one. I'm gifted by the chosen one. What are you going to see? A picture of me healing a man in bed, posing as a doctor with my hands glowing with light? Says I present to you this Saturday night starring Jimmy Fallon big time, Tim Liberals, and the MAGA Rats. Put your hands together. Oh my God. Trump is killing crypto with his scandal, says Ronnie. I didn't know that. So let me go straight to the box. And that was funny, Evil B by Boo. James Harper, good evening, welcome to the program. What do you say about that? Do you believe, and I got my volume is all jacked up here. Hang on a second, James, because I can't seem to figure out the volume. Okay, there we go. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
President, Commander-in-Chief with his own crypto. What say you?
There's no way in the world that he should have had that.
Do you think he's using it in corrupt manners, as this individual would suggest on my screen?
Yes, he is. You got to remember, this is a guy that in the corporate world, he abused his position. So what makes you think he's not going to do it on the political stage?
How did he abuse his position in the corporate world? In what way?
The way he does business is he gets all these investors come in, he milks the companies for what it's worth, and then when he fails, he washes his hands of it like it never existed.
I mean, is that just not a version of aggressive business? That's not a crime, is it?
with the amount of companies that he's ran into the ground, that should be a crime.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, it's not, and I get where you're going with that because there's a lot of innocent employees that get caught up in this stuff. But do you?
Innocent employees and naive investors?
Yeah, that's true too. But do you believe the damage, or better, in his case, not the damage, the windfall? Do you believe it's that great where this guy is suggesting a man has made over $1 billion in a little bit over a year?
Yeah, the damage is that great. Because look at this with that Bitcoin is not traceable, so you can't trace where this money is coming from. Like if it was just like normal transaction, yeah, you can trace it. Be like, all right, these people paid this, these people paid that. But with Bitcoin now, he's got a way for people to give him money without him actually showing a paper trail of like the corrupt.
So he can receive money with no accountability. What you're saying? Let me just say it like this. I'm going to make sure folks know, at least from your humble correspondent here, I am pleading ignorance on crypto. I don't have any. I don't know how it works. So are you saying that if you receive cryptocurrency, basically money, nobody can tell what you received, who it came from, or how much?
No, they just if you control that coin, no, they can't trace where your money is coming from. That's why so many people have been making coins, and then once the coin gets to a certain amount, they pull the funds from that coin and they call it a rug pull. So people basically are buying something that's worth nothing.
So in other words, Trump could, let's say for instance, he received this jet from Qatar, and now you hear about them being trained to fly F-15s. So let's say they wanted to learn how to fly F-15s and buy some from the United States, and we were refusing it. This is all fictional. Let's say under previous administrations, we were refusing to sell them F-15s or train them how to use them. And they promised Trump, $1 billion, and we'll give you a jet worth 400, and we'll give you another 600 mil in cash. You're saying they could give him 600 mil through that account, and there would be no way nobody ever knew that happened.
Right.
Ooh.
Nobody would know where that money came from, because think about it like this: the pardons that he's already been giving out to like some of the most questionable people on earth. And then when they ask him, like, why did you give this person a pardon? Oh, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, he did.
But he's giving out these pardons.
Yeah, he did pardon and that was that the Binance guy? That was a crypto guy, wasn't it?
Binance guy that's a crypto guy who now works at a company that is controlled by his family corporation. Not to mention that the former Honduran president. That guy that was considered to be a smug kingpin, and then how many other fraudsters and things like that have gotten pardons where they don't even have to pay back the money that they
the restitution, like the Binance guy. I think me and Denkel was talking about this, and they were talking about how when he pardons these white collar criminals that have defrauded a bunch of people, not only do they get set free from their incarceration punishment, they also get set free from the debt that they were ordered to pay back to their victims. He removes the restitution from them as well. So President Trump is not only pardoning the fraudster, he's also delivering pain to all of their victims who were hoping to maybe seek some sort of restitution or receive some sort of restitution one day.
Right. And that's the same thing with him. He's still in court right now trying to fight the restitution that he got to pay for the felony cases with Letitia James.
So I gotta ask the obvious question that's going to come up, at least from my beloved MAGA Saturday Hour. And by the way, if you're watching on on YouTube, I need you folks to smash that like button. It helps out the algorithm. I always ask you to do that. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Certainly get the likes on up to 20,000 if you're watching on TikTok. And if you're watching on Instagram or Substack, feel free to follow the program. My MAGA folks are going to inevitably state that accusing President Trump of being some kind of crypto cheat or crypto fraud is a hell of a bag of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome all over. How do you respond to folks who indicate that You guys are just making up shit on Trump. You got MAGA suggested this guy is the best president we've had in our lifetime. Why do they see things so differently?
Because, like we always say, they're in a damn cult.
What?
This man has sat there and said, I'm going to do this. And then once he got in charge, did the exact opposite of what he said he was going to do. And they're still cheering for him.
Well, in defense of Trump, he is doing some of the things he promised. I mean, the border, I bring it up a million times.
No, stop. We're not going to do the fluff already, Tim. Let's get
okay. Go ahead.
Let's get to the nitty gritty.
Sure.
He said, I'm going to bring down costs. I'm going to make everything affordable.
Yeah.
Then out of his mouth, he said affordability was a hoax.
Yeah, that is true.
He did.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that he didn't deliver on every one of his promises. In fact, I don't think he delivered on most of them.
I'm not even.
Go ahead.
I'm not talking about delivering on the promise. I'm talking about he's going a complete 180 on the promises. It's a difference between not being able to fulfill the promise and going completely against what you said you were going to do. And he's going against exactly what he said he was going to do. Because also you got no new wars, but he's attacked so many people in 1 year.
Well, MAGA believes, first of all, you've had every president in our lifetime indicate that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. So MAGA sees this one as Trump had the kahunas to do what all the other presidents were afraid to do.
No. What was MAGA saying not even a year ago? We are not the world's police. We should not be going around doing this stuff. But now that Trump want to do it, all of a sudden we need to do this. It's been a long time coming. We should have did this a long time ago.
Is it possible maybe it's because they believe that under Obama or under Biden with the botched evacuation from Afghanistan where 13 troops got killed, maybe they believe that what?
That evacuation plan, that was started under Trump.
It happened under
Biden. Just had to do it.
Well, James, Biden could have done it more effectively so that people didn't get killed. It happened under his watch. He gets blamed for it. So what I want to ask you is this. Okay, hold on. What I want to ask you is this, or what I want to say is this. Perhaps they went from not playing the world's police and no new wars to accepting it under Trump is because perhaps they believe that Trump, even though he's getting us in wars, finally we got a president that would at least fight to win them.
You're saying that, but look at the debacle we got now.
It just started. It's only been going for 8 weeks.
It's been going for 8 weeks, and look how little progress he's gotten. The votes that he says versus what we actually see are two different things. In his mind, they're already like on their knees with their hands up saying, hey, we'll do what you want, just stop. And they're showing you like, no, we still got fighting us.
Wait a minute. Why would you indicate that there's little progress? We've gotten rid of the Ayatollah. We've probably got rid of 2 or 3 levels of command over there. We don't even know if his son is still alive, who they claim is ruling the country right now. They don't have any military prowess of any significance. We have made progress.
No, the only thing we've done was we made it so that prices on a lot of shit are starting to skyrocket. Our troops are over there suffering because they can't get resupplied like they should be. And then you say we got rid of the Ayatollah. You mean the one that said that nuclear weapons was against their religion, but you got this other one that you just said is he's pissed off that not only did you kill his father, but you killed his wife and children and other members of his family? Yeah.
Okay, he lost
that's progress.
He lost a few family members. I get it. But at the end of the day, we've gotten rid of the leadership. We've gotten rid of their Navy. They don't have no air support of any significance. That is progress, some would argue.
That's not progress when they can still shoot down planes left and right, which they actually have done.
You sure that wasn't a lucky shot?
Do you know how fast these not just an F-35, but an A-10 and a Black Hawk. Those go at a completely different speed.
Well, an A-10 is pretty slow. An A-10 is pretty slow. That thing barely flies faster than I think commercial airliners fly faster than an A-10. That's not a very fast. That's a ground support aircraft.
Tim, have you seen the A-10 in action?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it in action. I read the stats and everything. You know, I fly a lot of these things RC wise, so I read up on them. Yeah,
RC wise,
but hold on, but no,
combat wise.
no, but put it this way: an A-10 Warthog is not breaking sound barriers. It doesn't break the sound barrier. It's not a fast aircraft.
It's not, but it's still maneuverable, and they hardly ever.
It's maneuverable, but it's not fast, is what I'm saying. It barely goes. When you think about a commercial airliner, you get on United or Delta, that thing does about 500 miles an hour. What are you saying?
When you're dodging anti-air, you need maneuverability, not just speed.
I'm not arguing that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is for them to shoot it down, that wasn't a lucky shot, especially 3 in that short amount of time. That means they actually had anti-air equipment, which, remember, if we have air superiority, we hardly ever get that stuff shot down.
Yeah, but if you're flying...
If you look at...
If you're flying low and slow like an A-10 does, an A-10 is usually 200 miles an hour or less. It flies low to provide ground support. It's not a fast aircraft. It's maneuverable. I'll agree with you there, but it's not a very fast aircraft. It can be hit with a shoulder fire weapon.
That's not the case, Tim. If that's the case, how come in Iraq and Afghanistan we didn't see a bunch of them getting shot down?
Well, first of all, Iran is more. They are more developed than Afghanistan and Iraq. They may have a few. They may have a few pieces of equipment left, but
we're supposed to have air superiority. If we had air superiority like we had in those countries, you would have seen a lot more airplanes getting taken down. You would have seen a lot more of that stuff getting taken down. But that was not the case.
James, hear me out. Hear me out. They shot down our aircraft. They knew where it was down. They knew at least 2 pilots were in their territory, and we were still, even though they knew what general area the pilots were in, where the aircraft was shot down, we were still able to perform a rescue mission and get our people out of there. So clearly, they don't have a hell of a lot of air defense.
What did we lose in that air rescue operation, Tim?
We lost it. We lost an 8 when we blew up 2 C-1. What were they? The aircraft that
C-130.
Yeah, the aircraft that brought over 2 of the Little Bird helicopters. I mean, I'm reaching because I got most of these little aircraft around here, but no, they had to blow that up because it got stuck in the mud. It wasn't because of Iran. And then they took 2 Little Birds were destroyed by our government. They only shot down the F-15 that they came to rescue, and then they shot down an A-10 that was involved in a rescue operation. So they shot down 2.
And the Black Hawk.
And the Black Hawk. Okay. Another low and slow aircraft.
Tim, I'm trying to tell you from combat experience, the fact that they did that is actually significant. When's the last, before then, it's been rare that one of our aircraft been taken down like that.
Well, didn't he? You ever seen the movie with Mark Wahlberg? Didn't it indicate a Chinook was shot down in Afghanistan with a shoulder fire weapon? Remember the scene where they're coming to rescue the Mark Wahlberg and Lone Survivor, and they take down a Chinook full of special forces? I mean, shoulder fire weapons occasionally get lucky with slow and low aircraft.
That's not the case, though. And then a Chinook is slow, but a Chinook is heavier than the aircraft that got shot down.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying
is the A-10 and the F-35, they both have anti ordnance protection on them. They have the ability to do it.
Yeah, they can dump flare and chaff, and the A-10 is actually armored. But simply put, if you get the strike in the right place, you take out a vertical stabilizer or something like that, the aircraft is coming down.
You're trying to say it's all luck that this happened in such succession.
I mean, I'm sure that plays a part in it. I mean, I'm not totally degrading the Iranian capabilities, but what I'm saying is whatever their capabilities were, Trump has reduced them significantly. You don't agree with that?
No, because remember, they said that they don't have the ability to strike targets, but they've been hitting targets since day one?
They can hit shit.
Hitting us, but they tore up all them bases around there.
Yeah, they can hit it. Yeah, a base is an immovable target. Yeah, they can hit shit that's pretty close with those drones. They can do that. But I don't see why you're saying Trump has made no progress. He has really weakened, conventional wise, the state of Iran.
I didn't say he didn't make no progress. I said his boasts don't compare to the progress that was made.
Wait, but his what?
His boasts, when he's saying like, oh, they're completely destroyed.
Okay, yeah,
they don't have nothing left. That's a complete fucking lie. Because if they didn't have that,
he exaggerates a
still
little
wouldn't be
bit.
getting hit with shit.
He exaggerates a little bit. Just a little bit.
Tim, didn't we just talk about fluffing, Tim?
There's no fluffing. We're having a conversation. He exaggerates a little bit.
You say he exaggerates a little bit. Exaggerating a little bit is saying, oh, well, I took out 15 things when I only did about 10. That's exaggerating a little bit. That's not what Trump is doing.
Listen, the man, MAGA Reacts once said it on the show. The guy likes to paint a positive picture. He believes in, patriotism. He likes to rally the American people. So he's going to paint a little bit more positive than it might be.
For a man that likes patriotism, why are our armed forces rationing food, Tim?
Why are they rationing food? I haven't heard that.
Because they're not getting the resupply that they need. That's why.
Because of the Strait?
The ones that are sitting there waiting outside the Strait, yes. Those aircraft carriers, they're waiting on resupply. They shouldn't have been out there that long.
That I wasn't aware of. That's. I mean, what are we going to have, a Berlin airdrop or something? I mean, there's got to be a way to get supplies to them. I mean, certainly when it comes to food, if you got C-130s, you're mentioning the ones that went in Iran, that can carry a hell of a lot of food to a carrier. You can't just drop some of that shit in the water nearby so that they can eat.
But it was, again, Tim, if they was actually caring about these folks, they would have actually done these things. They're not doing none of that.
So you believe the Trump administration is just deliberately leaving our men and women in uniform out to dry?
I believe that the Trump administration is incompetent, don't know what the hell they're doing.
But Hegseth served himself. He would know a little bit more than that, would he not?
Okay, that's the equivalent of having the guy that ran the mailroom as a CEO and running the company with no experience.
Oh my God! Well, we don't want it to be that bad. Let me ask you something before we move it on. Let me ask you something. Do you think Hegseth will survive? Do you think Hegseth will make it through if he's as bad as you're saying? Do you foresee a time when Trump may get rid of him, a la Pam Bondi or a la Kristi Noem?
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to be on that chopping block. You see what he's doing now? He's firing people that he think might take his spot.
So you believe Trump is going to likely get rid of Hegseth? That's pretty big because Hegseth has been loyal. Well, so have all of them, I guess. But
I was about to say, who was more loyal than Pam Bondi?
Yeah, and Kristi Noem too was pretty damn loyal. So I don't know. Then why do they keep serving if they're just going to go? And I see somebody says Keg's breath won't make it a full term. Wow. That wouldn't look right, would it not? That would look embarrassing if he got rid of Pete Hegseth after touting him to be so great.
Trump, Tim, you're forgetting. Trump set the record for the most people interchanged in their cabinet than any other presidency. Because remember, his first term, he was going left and right.
Yeah, he was. In fact, he's kept more this time than last. People have actually survived more this time than they did last. Because Carolyn Leavitt was like 3 different people. I think she was Spicer. She was Sarah Huckabee Sanders. There were like 3 people that did that job in his first term.
And where is she now? They just got rid of her.
Yeah. Poor Carolyn. Well, she is pregnant, so maybe they were trying to take it easy on her.
Right. That's the excuse, Tim?
Well, a woman gets pregnant and you don't want to put her through a stressful position as such. I mean, Trump, maybe he wants to respect women like that.
Mr. Grabbing by the pussy wants to respect women.
That was a long time ago, James. That was a long time ago. The man is matured. He's 80 years old almost.
Didn't he hit on her in public?
Carolyn Leavitt?
Yes, he said something about her and Pam Bondi in public.
Well, he might have called them attractive. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, is it?
Come on now, Tim.
Is there something wrong with a president calling a woman attractive? What exactly did he say to him?
I forget what he said, but I think it was along the lines of how hot they were and things like that. You can't say that shit to women. You know that you can't.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, the man said his own.
Married man.
The man said his own daughter is so hot that if she wasn't his daughter, he would be dating her. So the man likes to compliment women.
Exactly. The same man that said that, hey, that 10-year-old, I'm gonna be dating her in 10 years. Come on now.
All right, you got me, James. I got to move it on. But you know, when you're saying this, what it reminds me of, I don't know, because everybody knows Steve Harvey from the Family Feud. There was a guy years ago, some of you Gen Xers will remember, when he was the host of Family Feud, I can't think of his name, but he would kiss all the guests on the mouth. That's what reminds me. I don't know some of you folks if you remember his name, but he used to host Family Feud years ago. And every guest, he would kiss them in the mouth. That's kind of what you got me thinking about when you say President Trump. Richard Dawson, yes, he also starred in The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. James, I got to move it on. Go ahead. I'll give you the last word.
All right, last word. MAGA, y'all, it's just like my boy Stick said. Y'all like silly putty. Whatever the maker wants y'all to do, y'all mold straight into that.
They believe the man is the right guy for the country, James. Thank you for coming on.
And the country's in shit right now, but I'll see you later, too.
All right. Well, and I will say in regards to what he said, the country's in the shitter right now. What did Trump say? Short-term pain for long-term gain. He also indicated that once this Iranian conflict is over with, gas prices will be lower than they were before it began. So a lot of folks are riding with Trump because they believe that this is only temporary. So, yeah, it might be in the shitter now, but we're going to have a non-nuclear Iran. And we're going to get the economy back on course like it was in his first term. That is what a lot of folks believe. I'm not saying I subscribe to that theory, but I do understand it. I'm going to ask you folks, though, to tap the screen. Get the likes on up. A lot of lazy thumbs in here, lazy fingers. We should be around 30,000, THOU. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 30,000. If you're watching us on YouTube, going to ask that you smash that like button. Helps out the algorithm. This is a MAGA-friendly program. We don't block, ban, or censor any damn body. You can be critical of anybody on this program, including yours truly. The comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. If you enjoy uncensored dialogue from all sides of the aisle, and you happen to be watching us on Instagram, TikTok, or Substack, follow the program. You happen to be watching us on YouTube, give your boy a sub. Nothing worse than a black ashy coin, says 43 Virginia Slim. Nothing racist about that at all. I'm sure you're hanging out at a cookout eating barbecue as we speak. A black ashy coin. Interesting. And by the way, we don't black ban or censor, but just to let you know, we do point it out. This caller's TDS is over the top, says Robert Kennedy. And Virginia Slim is offering or suggesting that I get mental help. Well, this is my mental help talking to my liberals and my beloved MAGA. I'm getting mental help as we speak. Hopefully it works by the end of the broadcast. Democrats caught paying the KKK leader, says Rudy Armento or something like that. Well, and by the way, tap the screen. We'll take the next caller at 30,000. That we talked about the Southern Poverty Law Center scandal yesterday, and my take on it is this. They've been indicted for some of the things like one of my guests is mentioning, paying off white supremacist groups and things like that. But at this stage, it is an indictment. It is not a conviction. Indictments get dropped all the time. President Trump has had a hell of a lot of indictments go nowhere. They just dropped the indictment, talking about Judge Jeanine Pirro. They just dropped the indictment they had against Jerome Powell this week. The indictment against Comey, Jim Comey, the FBI former FBI director. That indictment went nowhere. Neither did the indictment against Letitia James. Trump has put a lot of indictments out there that went nowhere. So right now, what they're alleging against the Southern Poverty Law Center is an indictment. we'll see how it goes. I mean, all of the guilty claims against Jim Comey, he ain't guilty of anything. The indictment was dropped. Let's see if the indictment against the Southern Poverty Law Center goes somewhere, and then we'll talk about it. But if it doesn't go anywhere, then it's just a charge that was just like the charges that were made against President Trump by what is it? Can't even think of the guy down there. What is the guy who was charging him? I can't even White or something like that. James, I can't even think of the guy's first name, but you know who I'm talking about. He charged President Trump. And because President Trump won the presidency, the indictments go nowhere. He had to drop the indictments. So it's just an indictment. That's what it is right now against the Southern Poverty Law Center. It's just an indictment. And I see in the comments, Teddy Owen says wasting resources. Yeah, all of them indictments that Pam Bondi put out there that went nowhere, yeah, that wasted the public's resources. You and I are paying for that stuff. When they try to go after Trump's adversaries and all of that shit get tossed out. Let me go back to the box. Are you saying they have to pay people to be racist? No, because it's an indictment. I'm going to go back to that. Until they get convicted of something, I'm not going to treat the indictment of the Southern Poverty Law Center as guilt unless the Southern Poverty Law Center admits, yes, we did what they're charging us with. But right now they're saying it didn't happen. So they have their day in court, just like the government making the charges have their day in court. I know MAGA is currently viewing the charges against the Southern Poverty Law Center as fact. They're treating them as if they're guilty until proven innocent. They're just automatic. Well, what do you think about them doing this? What do you think? They're saying they didn't do it. I gotta hear their side first. They're saying they didn't do it. You can't just say they're guilty of it. In the comments, I smell Trantifa in the chat. What is Trantifa, Paul? Two of your enemies in one word? Trump doesn't even know that projection doesn't work like that. Well, depends on who you ask. We paid them to make some noise so we look like we're fighting them. And they're doing that. If that's what you paid them to do, Rudy, you're getting your money's worth. They are doing that. Let me go back to the box. We'll make it happen. One of my subscribers, Super Evil. Good evening, Super Evil. Welcome to the program. So, good evening, Super.
Hey, man.
Hey, the system is rigged. We've had almost 6 years of Trump. Is that something that has been repaired? Because Trump came essentially down the golden escalator talking about he knew the system was rigged. Nobody knows the system more than me. Now he's been in office nearly 6 years. How is the system looking now, in your opinion?
Well, let me first say two things. One, happy Saturday to you.
Thank you.
To Sexy Red.
Is Sexy in the chat?
I don't know, but maybe.
Sexy is like a shark fin. I have to look behind me because sometimes when you're in the water, right. Yeah, Sexy is like a shark fin. I got to know what's in there. I think I'm going to need a bigger program, as they say in Jaws. You're going to need a bigger program.
You need a life. Yeah. You need a life preserver. That's it. Yeah. That's what it is.
And for folks who don't know, Sexy is Gangsta Grandma. That's just the other profile. Sexy Red is Gangsta Grandma. So yeah, she's like a shark fin. I gotta be looking behind me, make sure she's not in the water.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the system has always been rigged, always, because it's a white man's world. So.
Ooh. It's a white. We've had a black president. What do you mean it's a white man's world?
Obama made it a little bit decent and well, but also at the same time, we were able to be really a strong America under President Biden, not Biden, but President Barack Obama. But I'm just simply saying is that the system is rigged to certain points and certain of the or
okay,
I would say like certain types of the or like of the it's the different levels. Yeah.
In what way in 2026, in your opinion, is the system currently rigged?
Well, as American people, we were stupid to elect Donald Trump back into the office.
But that's not rigged, Evil. That the guy ran a campaign. I always hold her photo up because he was better than her, and he got reelected.
No, she should have been there. Put that damn picture back up, man.
This woman was a bad. I'm going to tell you the same
She
thing.
was better. Yes, she was better.
No. The guy behind me, the guy on the screen behind me was indeed a better candidate for office than this woman. That's why he's in there.
He is no better than Biden. He's no better than Biden. He's falling asleep. He is shitting his pants.
Okay.
What else is new?
Okay, hold on a second. There is a difference between when you say he's falling asleep and he's shitting his pants, you're talking about his performance as president. That's a different debate. What I'm saying is, as a presidential candidate, he was a much better candidate for office than Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala might have been a better president. We can debate that. Maybe she would have been better than him. But as a candidate, he was much better than her.
Man.
You disagree? The guy got thousands of votes more than her, Evil. Thousands more votes.
She was better. We would not be in this dumb, political, rich war. This war is based on money. This war is based on profits.
Are you sure, though, Evil? Because I got folks who come on the program all the time, and I asked them that question. If Kamala Harris had won the nation's highest office, would we still be at war with Iran? I got a lot of folks who say yes, because they believe Netanyahu owns the U.S. government regardless of which party is leading. They do believe this would have still been taking place. What say you?
Benjamin Netanyahu is Trump's little chew toy. All right? Benjamin owns Trump. He physically owns Trump because he's whispering in his ear, telling him all kinds of stupid of the shit, though. And Trump should already know he shouldn't be listening to Benjamin Netanyahu.
Well, and real quick on Substack, I see CBOG Kush put in hashtag trans MAGA. What the hell is trans MAGA?
Trans MAGA?
What the hell is that? What is trans MAGA? What is that, MAGA with blue hats?
And that's the other thing. Why is that MAGA is on board with the whole transsexual thing? I thought that Trump was against transsexual type of the people. So
what do you mean? Wait. What do you mean when you say MAGA's on board with the whole how is MAGA on board with that? In what way?
I've seen a couple MAGA people who are transsexuals, who are
Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner's MAGA. Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner is MAGA, and I think Caitlyn Jenner was recently in the news a couple of weeks ago complaining that I know some of you folks want to still say he or whatever pronoun you want to give Caitlyn Jenner, but Caitlyn Jenner was complaining that she cannot travel internationally anymore because of the pronoun the Trump administration put on her passport. So her passport says a man, and she's walking through. But she voted for Trump. So she actually voted for Trump. But yeah, she's complaining that she can't travel anymore.
That was a big mistake, though. See, so
it didn't work well for her. Yeah, because Trump ran on, I'm going to have Congress go by the gender on your birth certificate permanently. So all your documents, you're not going to be able to transition in the eyes of government. If you're born a man, everything you do throughout life, it's going to say man no matter how you look. Even if you have a sex change, your documents are still going to say male.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, I don't know how MAGA is, I don't know. MAGA is just lost, but MAGA is so dead now. They are just completely a waste of time.
Well, first of all, how would you say MAGA is lost? Right now, they control every damn thing. But before you answer that, I want to read a comment to you. You know, I always like the interesting ones. They make for the more interesting reading. I'll let you handle this one, but I think it's about me. Kalitos 2025 says MAGA will always support a raccoon like this host, just as long as he keeps tap dancing for them and Master Trump. So. Do you hear any tap dancing behind? Am I tap dancing of sorts?
No, Tim. The person whoever said that, they need to go suck some dick, man. Because they're stupid.
Oh my God!
That's stupid. Whoever made that comment, they are illogical.
God!
Illogical stupid.
Well, I tend to think that a lot of folks see the show and they see the backdrop, and that's all they need. They didn't like you reckon that.
Look at these pretzels. Look at these pretzels.
Well, you did recommend some fellatio, so apparently, what is it called? Yeah, I seen it pop up.
Sorry.
No, that's wrong. Listen, I don't censor, so you know how the program is. I don't block, ban, or censor. Follows through with none of his promises, yet you still support. Explain to me how that is not a cult. Says Jordan Papp in the comments. Trump does follow through with some of his promises, so that's not true. That's absolutely no tax on tips.
Honestly, I would say he follows through on certain things, but he doesn't always keep his word, though. He doesn't keep his word.
What's the difference between that and most politicians? All politicians say some things that don't come true. Read my lips, no new taxes. I didn't have sex with that woman. If you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor. All politicians say some things that turn out not to be true. Right?
I would say all politicians lie, they cheat, they steal.
Okay. So then Trump is being wrongfully mistreated when he's only doing what the rest of them do, right?
I disagree. Trump is in his own world. Remember, this is a man who believes in fantasy monsters. So
what the hell makes you say that? What you sure you're not talking about Kennedy? That sounds more like something Kennedy would say.
No, Trump's best friend is Hannibal Lecter.
He said some wow. Yeah, and thank you, sexy. Oh my God, I talk about shark fins. I talk about.
Okay, let me tell you. Now I gotta go off on Tim. That's just for you. Yes, you are a ratty raccoon. You are.
Ooh, sexy red. Damn, man.
You are. You're a ratty raccoon. You're a tap dancing ass ninja. And what?
What did I do?
Because you be tap dancing. Yes, master. So don't get up here and say, no, I don't be tap dancing or nothing like that. Yes, you a tap dancing ass ninja.
Okay.
And what?
First of all, you sound like you're.
Like my picture though.
You sound like you're robbing.
I was in Hawaii.
You sound like you're robbing a liquor store. Well, first of all, I don't tap dance.
I ain't robbing shit. I'm high as hell.
I like the picture. I see a lot of skins. I can't argue with skins.
I look good.
Can I buy you some red wine?
I don't drink, honey. I don't drink. I just smoke. But let me break this down to you. But thank you for the offer. Let me break this shit down to you. I'm tired of your camp dancing ass shit. Always saying that I call him a she. Isn't that some shit? He'll be ugly.
You talking about Caitlyn? Caitlyn Jenner?
Oh, she's a traitor, man.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, master. I'll vote for the Republicans, even when they don't like my ugly ass. They don't like me. Yeah, then you had a trans maggot. Oh, yeah, I'm mega. I'm mega. I mean, are you proud of that?
Who is it? Who is the trans? Who else is trans mag? I haven't seen many trans supporting trans.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to be there, though. There's a couple.
Yeah.
There's a couple. But let me tell you something. See, I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of us, oh my God, you guys gotta push back on this Tim. Man, I'm the only one that got kahunas, and I got cookies.
Push back though.
You're too damn nice. You're just too nice. You are. I ain't gonna lie to you. You too nice. Cause he needs an ass whooping. That's what you need, Tim. And get back to your blackness. I'm tired of taking your black card.
How is wait, what the hell? How is pointing out things where Trump may have been successful for this great? If Trump does something, hold on, hang on. Let me ask you a question, and you can spew what you want to spew. But if Trump does something right by this great nation, I'm trying. You're not letting me get the statement out. If the man does something right by this great nation, are you suggesting that it goes against being black to give the man credit? What do you vote for me and you ain't black all of a sudden?
What? Shut your ugly ass up. Oh God, shut your ass up. Let me tell you something. What has that white tea man did for any of us? White, green, Mexican, what has he did? Oh, yeah, you did say tax on tip, right? Tax on tip, and what? No. Oh, no, Pookie. No. That was a Democrat.
No tax on tips there, yeah.
That was a Democrat from Nevada that did that. So miss me with your BS. That wasn't no shit like that. Come again. The border is wide open like Melania Trump Lake. Everybody's welcome.
The
border
is not fucking wide. The border is not wide open. Trump would have.
Yes, it is. It's wide open like her legs is. Cook them all in. Yes, it is, because it's unconstitutional to have it closed. Go look the shit up. See, that's how he preys on the idiots. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Uneducated, because they cannot close the border.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, let me make it clear to you. Under Trump, the border is significantly more secure than it was under the last guy.
If it was more secure, then why does he have less cross? Why does he have less deportation than Biden Trump? Why does he have less encounters than Biden Trump?
That's easy. That's easy. Trump has less deportations than Biden and Trump because motherfuckers know not to fuck with him. A lot of them are self-deporting.
No, see, you are undercover fucking black maggot.
Oh my
and I'm gonna beat your ugly damn ass on God. On God. Let's step it. I'm gonna be in Chicago in 2 weeks. I have to be up there in 2 weeks. I'm gonna come and tap dance on your ugly ass because you are lying. You lying. And I got money to get my happy ass out with DV. On God.
Okay, first of all,
that's why I want a divorce from your ugly ass. Because you be tap dancing.
I'm not signing the papers,
Ratty
baby.
raccoon.
I'm not signing the papers.
Ratty raccoon.
I'm not signing the papers. You stuck with me.
I know. Because you like this chocolate covered too, yes. But guess what? Your ass ain't touching me because you're a ratty raccoon.
Well, as Huey Lewis once sang, I'm happy to be stuck on you. You're not divorcing anybody. You're stuck with me.
Well, let me tell you something. Now, you need to get back to your blackness and quit being so damn white like bleach. Because I'm sick of your ugly ass coming up here saying, oh, Trump did this. Oh, Trump has did nothing. Only thing that white tea man has done is made him richer and make us poorer. He don't give a damn about the maggots that voted for him. He don't give a damn if those people go hungry. He don't give a damn if the prices of gas going through the right, going through up. He don't give a dime about nobody.
That is true.
No.
That is so.
Okay.
$50 billion for a war, but you can't feed the poor, right? $50 billion for a war, but you can't feed the poor. You can take people away from Medicaid,
some of the
Medicare.
money that we are having that should be actually be going towards people who are in need.
But what if that war gives us a non-nuclear Iran that makes us safer?
Oh my God, he started all this shit. And let me tell you something. You know what the saddest part about this WAR is? There's troops over there are rationing their food. Troops are rationing their food. We have never did that to our troops. Where the hell is our money going to?
Our money is going to secure this nation.
No, that money's not going to secure shit. You know what it's going to? Israel. Israel got something on Donald Trump.
Well, but keep
Israel
it.
got something on Donald Trump.
Well, they do got something on Donald Trump. They got something on all of them, which is they have access to the Middle East, and we need them to control that theater
Oh,
for
shut
us.
up. We don't need him to do a goddamn thing. Just go unalive his damn ass and go to the pits of hell he belongs with his Antichrist ass. That's what he wants. I promise you, Tim. On my Christianity, when this mofo dies, I'm getting me some tequila. I got me some tequila on God. I'm getting some tequila, and you know what? I'm gonna be dancing butt naked in the streets.
You're telling me once Trump passes away, you just said you don't drink. Now you're talking about tequila.
I will drink then. Oh, hell yeah, I will. I'm not a drinker, but when that motherfucker dies, uncroaks, goes to the pit of hell, you've never seen a woman take. I would get intoxicated. Okay?
First of all,
instead of getting high, I would get intoxicated.
First of all, you just not only said you didn't drink, you said you're a Christian woman. Is that what Christians do?
I am a Christian.
Is that what Christians do? Is that what Christians do? They get drunk and celebrate the death of somebody?
Yep, a freaky ass. Hell yeah. See, let me tell you about God, okay? Jesus says, you come as you are, he'll change you. He's trying to change me for the longest time. And it's kind of hard because I'm a freak.
That's when you're going
you feel me?
to church, though, see?
You know, I'm a freak. God knows where my heart's at. God knows when I go and I worship him and I only worship him. See, I don't put myself and say, oh, I have the light and I'm a doctor and I belittle everybody's Christianity or I belittle what do you call it? The nuns or nothing. I don't do none of that. I stay in my Christian lane, I mind my Christian business, and I get my Christian dickie.
But
you feel what I'm saying?
What the hell? What is
That's what I do.
Grandma, come on.
What is wait. Just before I let you guys go, I need clarity. What is Christian dick?
On the good side of the Lord.
I mean, what does he have a cross on his balls or something? What is Christian dick?
No. He just likes my happy ass, and they know I'm a Christian. That's what it is. See, I'm a good Christian. See, I don't come up here and tell people what to do with their bodies. I don't care as long as you're happy. I don't care who you effing as long as it's not a damn child. You feel what I'm saying? Unlike your president wants to F his own son. I mean, his own daughter. He might be effing his own sons because they sure is close. You feel what I'm saying?
I swear to God, I'm hearing Della Reese and Harlem Nights. I'm an honest hoe, and all my hoes are honest.
But that's what I'm being for real.
I gotta.
I'm a legit real Christian.
Okay.
But you better add me up, Tim, because me and you gotta have a conversation. And I am good tonight. I have not cussed you out. I just don't want to beat your ass. That's all I said.
I gotta go, folks. I gotta move the show on. Appreciate it. And thank you, Evil, by the way. Appreciate it. All right, moving on with the program. That was not easy. I'm an honest hoe, and all my hoes are honest. Some of you folks may have remembered that movie going back to the 80s. Anyway, I did have a poll question on YouTube. And it's at 50-50, by the way. This is interesting. I just posted it, so we only got 29 folks have answered this question. Which president is better for the border? And I gave the choices of Biden and Trump. And it's really 50. Now it's kind of moved 53-47. A few folks are saying people are saying Biden was better for the border. 53-47. So it's real close. But I do have a poll question, and more people are responding to it. But which president was better for the border between Trump and Biden? And we'll see. We'll talk about it as the answers come in. Fuck the border, says Freedom Fighter. You really want to live in a country that has no protection around its borders where anybody can come in? You realize how many enemies we have? Certainly with the past dozen presidents or so, certainly since World War II, we've just went around the world playing world's police, making enemies. You really want to just let anybody in? Fuck the border? Is that really how you view it? I live in Texas, no problem. Well, they don't stop in Texas. Just because they come through Texas and go blow up Cleveland, I don't tap the screen, get the lights on up to 50,000. We'll take the next caller. You guys favor that? Having unsecured, fuck the border, like my guest says, or the viewer states, fuck the border. You guys believe it would be okay if we had a border with Really no security? You think that's a good idea? That's open borders, by the way. Obama is determined to interfere with Donald Trump. Why is he so nervous? Why are you suggesting that Obama, who has no power at this point, Bitcoin, Bionics, what makes you say that Obama is determined to interfere with Trump? What is he doing? I haven't seen, you barely even hear from Obama. How is he interfering with President Trump? That's an interesting accusation. Show me some evidence. I haven't heard of anything like that. She is going to get some Night Train box wine. That'll get you really fucked up, that cheap shit. Anyway, tap the screen. We'll take the next caller at 50. Thou, in the comments, Trans MAGA came from Mike DeBoss. Mike is a good guest of the show. He said MAGA is fluid in what they believe, based off what the orange man tells them. They may be switching and flip-flopping trans MAGA. I don't think Trump is ever going to tell them being trans is okay. I don't think that's going to happen. There are some things, because you guys say that MAGA's in a code or whatever. There are some things that Trump can tell MAGA that even they don't fall for. Like, for instance, the Epstein list. Stop talking about Epstein, and Epstein is a Democrat hoax. MAGA didn't fall for that. They didn't throw Trump under the bus, but MAGA normally goes around repeating things that Trump says. Bird brain for Nikki Haley, Sleepy Joe Biden, even Marjorie Trader Brown. A lot of MAGA goes around repeating that stuff. They didn't go around repeating that Epstein was a Democrat hoax. So they didn't buy into that. Supercell or Super Evil. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. And by the way, folks, yes, help your boy out with the TikTok cap and hat and mustache goes. I'm having a Biden moment. TikTok cap, hat, mustache goes. Help your boy out. Support the program. You know what I always ask. I'm getting fucked up for your entertainment. We don't block, ban, or censor anybody. This is uncensored programming in a MAGA-friendly format. I got to get some MAGA up here, by the way. MAGA remains my preferred guest. But when the show is critical of Trump, they don't come around. Real quick, while we're getting up to 50,000, I will give you just one of the clips again about what we talked about earlier in the show, which is the topic of conversation, that being President Trump nearly a decade ago this year.
I have joined the political arena so that the powerful can no longer beat up on people who cannot defend themselves.
Blue One Banks. Thank you.
Nobody knows the system better than me.
Nobody. Nobody knows it better than Trump. This is 10 years ago.
Which is why I alone can fix it.
He's been in office 6 years almost since he said this. 6 years as president.
I have seen firsthand how the system is rigged against our citizens, just like it was rigged against Bernie Sanders. He never had a chance. Never had a chance.
So that's him nearly a decade ago. I believe that might be a decade ago, but at least close to 10 years ago, saying that the system is rigged. And he uses Bernie Sanders as an example, which a lot of folks agree that Bernie Sanders got mistreated by the Democrat Party. But that was President Trump, running for the 45th president spot nearly 10 years ago. And I'm playing that clip, and you guys heard, some of you folks that were tuned in earlier, because it ties into this clip, which you are aware of, that is a lot more modern.
Late today, President Trump saying Republicans are, quote, entitled to those additional seats, citing his victory in that state. Democratic lawmakers fleeing the state, trying to keep this from happening. Congressional maps being redrawn are generally tied to the census. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Barry Bruce.
Tonight, as the battle over the Texas congressional map rages on, President Trump now arguing Republicans are entitled to 5 more House seats there because he won the state.
I won Texas. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, as you probably know. and we are entitled to 5 more seats.
But the Congress.
And I'm not even going to go into the rest of it, but the point I'm trying to make is President Trump came down at I want to say golden escalator, but he was at a campaign rally in that clip I played. But you hear him talking about the system is rigged. Now you hear him more in more modern times indicating that he deserves 5 more seats. And this is irrespective of how the people in Texas are actually going to vote. He wanted the system to gerrymander the districts in Texas so that he just gets 5 more seats, regardless of how people want to vote in that state. So I'm asking a simple question. The man who started out by saying the whole system was rigged is now talking about gerrymandering. So after nearly 6 years in office as president, has Trump fixed the rigged system or made it worse? In the comments, I want you to state fixed or worse. Has he fixed the rigged system or has he made it worse? Because he's been president for almost 6 years now. And he came on the scene saying the system is rigged, and you hear him here talking about I deserve 5 more seats. By the way, these are congressional seats. So even if you were a very successful president, that ain't got shit to do with the Congress. I mean, you could be a great president, and the Congress people running for office could be George Santos or, what was the guy, Swalwell? I mean, that ain't got nothing to do with you. So because you won as president by a lot in Texas, we should put in Congress people that we may or may not like? This is the guy that said the system was rigged. Has he made it better or worse? Let me know in the comments. Are we at 50,000? Quite close. Looking in the comments here real quick. Hard question today, says Mad Moments. I'd like to know, why is it hard? I'd like to know what's so difficult about that question. However, we will recover from such a profound insult. Worse, never found a contract or rule he couldn't twist to fit his needs, says Chicago Day Fly. Rich men can buy our children. Well, they got to be for sale first, though, right? The system will always be rigged, says Gen X. Yeah, but somebody has to rig it. Somebody has to rig it. So we'll go back to the box. Pizza Lover. Now, Pizza Lover, are you actually there? Because Pizza Lover was spamming his ass off. We'll bring him up. Apparently not. We'll go straight to the handsome conservative. Tap the screen. Help your boy out with the tick. There you go. Alter ego. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap. Hat mustache. Go alter ego. Got your boy looking real Hispanic. Handsome conservative. Good evening to you, by the way. We're talking about the system is rigged. Was Trump correct?
Wait a minute. Did I miss Wheezy? Did I miss Wheezy? Because I'm hurt.
She'll be back.
Okay, maybe when we get into the transgender thing. I got you.
You're going to keep talking. It's going to be like saying Candyman 3 times. You're going to fuck around and...
Well, you were talking about Caitlyn Jenner, right?
Yeah.
She couldn't fly because she had the correct thing put on her passport.
Okay. And what is your opinion on that? Do you think that was wrong to do that to Caitlyn? She wants to be...
No, she's a man. She was born a man. I mean, they're not, the state's not lying. She was born a man. That's an M. Can't spell woman with an M.
What if she wants to identify as a woman? You don't agree with that?
Look, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
If I put on a sombrero and speak Mexican, can I identify as Mexican?
You can actually be Mexican if you go through the immigration process. Yes.
That's not what I asked. Can I be a Mexican if I just say I identify as a Mexican?
No, but there are...
The answer's no.
No. Well, so let me ask you. So what if Caitlyn actually is post-operation, where she actually gets a vagina conscrewed and fake boobs and all of that? Can she get the W?
First of all, you can get all kinds of toys out of the toy box. It doesn't make you that toy.
We're talking about surgery, though.
Listen, was she born a man?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Then she's a man. She may have had her schlong turned inside out and done all that, but she's a man. Dude, I'm sorry. Now, did that get gangster up here? No.
No,
Okay.
but you're going to get a bunch of the LGBTQ community talking like. So you don't believe you don't believe a transgender person should be allowed to transition at all, then, do you?
No, man. I think they need therapy. You know, somebody with like a lot of college education needs to roll up a newspaper, smack them in the back of the head, and tell them cut that shit out.
I mean, you don't believe a person can feel like they were born in their own body? You don't believe that can actually happen?
No. Honestly, all jokes aside, I'm a Christian. God doesn't make mistakes. I mean, to be perfectly honest.
God makes a hell of a lot of mistakes. But before I respond to you on that, in the comments, Evil says Trump ain't shit. And he says Trump needs to find himself on another planet for all the stuff that he's doing. So he definitely doesn't agree with Trump. I disagree with your statement that God doesn't make mistakes. I think we see him all around us.
Well, okay, maybe he made one with the Democratic Party. Listen, let me ask you a question. Do Democrats stand for African Americans?
Yeah.
And does Democrats stand for transgender people?
The trans people think so. Yeah, I don't know about all of them. Hold on. That's a harder question. That's a harder question to ask because there are plenty of anti-trans Democrats out there.
Okay. Well, as far as the party goes, there's always going to be a few people that don't agree with it in the party. But as far as the party goes, do they stand with them?
Yes.
Then why did I just hear a Democrat earlier say that Caitlyn Jenner voting for MAGA was a sellout? I thought she stood with transgender people.
For the same reason you guys treat Marjorie Taylor Greene the way you do. If you sell out the party and do something they disagree with, they put you on the other side. They're treating Caitlyn Jenner like you treat Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I understand she didn't vote for the person that they voted for, but again, don't they stand for transgender people, or is that just the ones that vote their way?
Well, I'll just say it like this. Because you stand with the U.S. military, right?
Yeah, they got the guns.
Would you stand for a member of the U.S. military that went overseas and fought on behalf of the enemy?
Fought on behalf of the
enemy. Like we had a U.S. American.
Americans aren't our enemies.
No, that ain't what I'm asking you. I asked you, do you stand for the U.S. military? You said yes. I'm asking you if a member of the U.S. military, like we had one under the Obama administration that went to the Middle East and was fighting on behalf of ISIS, do you stand with that guy? He's a member of the U.S. military.
No, because he's no longer a member of the U.S. military.
Right. And they look at the trans the same way.
But there's
he is a member. No, that's not true. When he went to go fight on behalf of ISIS, he is still a member of the U.S. military. He just went over there, but on paper in America, he is still a member.
He left.
You can't just leave.
Left his country.
You can't just leave. That's the problem.
He left. From what I understand, he left his country and he joined the enemy.
That doesn't matter. When they catch him,
one Democrat or Republican, we're all still Americans.
That doesn't.
Each other's
okay,
enemy.
first of
we
all,
just believe in different things.
You can't leave the U.S. military. You do understand that. In the middle of a war, you can't just go to another country and say, I'm leaving. You can't. If they catch you, you're going to be treated like something. If they catch you, you're going to be treated criminally like somebody who violated the policies of the U.S. military. And you're going to go to the bridge.
He was a deserter.
Okay.
He was a deserter.
You only get charged. How do you get charged?
He left the military.
How do you get, if you're not in the U.S. military, how do you get charged with desertion? You don't get that charge unless you're a member of the U.S. military.
Oh, shit. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. No whammies. Son of a bitch.
You got the boss on line too.
I love trans people.
Yeah, well, you said that. I'm not. First of all, I'm not trans. But what's going on, Tanzan? What's going on, handsome?
Not much, the boss. Good evening to you. By the way, I got a poll going on YouTube, and we're up to 106 votes asking which president is better for the border. 106 people chimed in. It's exactly at 50-50 between Trump and Biden. Which president was better for the border? 106
by the
people.
way, I couldn't find your poll, just so you know, but I would have loved to vote in it. But I've looked for it, and I just can't find it, man.
Yeah, one page has it. I don't know why the other one's not, but 106 people, 107 now. It's 50-50. Wow. Trump is no better on the border than Biden. Mike, do you agree with that?
I've been telling you that forever, but you know.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Well, I mean,
Sleepy
again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. These right talking points are just that. If you look at the data and you really do some critical thinking, it really doesn't. Your arguments on the right don't add up, handsome conservative. They don't, because you can't ignore the law. You can't ignore the law. You can't ignore, and you can't ignore the rhetoric. If the border was an issue, let me say this, handsome conservative, if you tell me, and everything I'm about to tell you are facts. Obama handed Donald Trump a net negative border. That's a fact. Obama was talking about caravans at the border while he was in office in 2018, in 2019. The pandemic happened in 2020, and the border didn't.
Wait. You said Obama was not in office in 2018, 2019. That was Trump.
No. I know. That's what I said. Donald Trump was in office complaining about caravans at the border.
You said
That's
Obama.
My point, Tim.
You actually said Obama.
My bad.
Okay.
My bad. Trump was in office. Trump was in office complaining about caravans at the border while he was in office.
That's true.
This man literally caused, when you talk about when he was demonizing Venezuelans and Haitians, he's the one that gave them temporary protected status before he left office, and then turned around and demonized his own decision, and y'all bought it. When I say y'all, I mean the right.
Maybe he made a mistake. Mike, he didn't know they were eating cats and dogs.
Well, here's the thing. Hey, here we go, Tim. But here's the thing. I'm going to finish that statement because I came up for the transgender thing. And then when the COVID hit and everything, Title 42 was in place until May of 2023, where the border was essentially closed due to the health crisis, right? The pandemic.
Yeah.
So if it didn't open back up until May of 2023, and he was out of office in 24, you're talking about 16 months. Are you guys telling me in 16 months, and you have no data to support it, by the way, that in that amount of time, millions and millions and 10s and 15 and 18 and 21, because those are all the numbers Trump has used, million people came across the border in 16 months?
When I was
that's the case.
When I went to the Trump rally, well, one of them, because he did change the numbers, but one of the Trump rallies I was at, he said 18 million came in under Biden.
Yeah. And again, it didn't happen in 2021, 2022, and half of 2023 because the Title 42 was in place.
Okay.
So you're talking about when, and it happened, and it opened in May. From May until December of 2024, and if you look at the numbers, they're not even close. So that's why I say the rhetoric behind how we handled the border is not even feasible. But we keep talking about it. It was impossible for those numbers to come across.
I gotta say, I hear what you said. We'll get to the trans thing you came up here for, but it's a hard sell to believe that Trump has not been better on the border than Biden because he's been so gung-ho about it. I would immediately think Trump did a much better job on the border than Biden. But I'm looking at my poll, and now we're up to 130 some odd votes, and 53% are saying Biden was better on the border. Wow. All right.
Tim, if they go look at that's the criteria of your poll. But if you just go look at the numbers, it wasn't what the right has said it was. It wasn't an invasion. Yeah. These countries didn't open their prisons and borders. I mean, that didn't happen. And here's the thing. If that happened, why are we sending immigrants over to these prisons that are full? It doesn't make any sense, Tim. It just doesn't make any sense. Right. But anyway, handsome conservative, that's not what I came up for. You asked about Caitlyn Jenner, sir? Are you still there?
I asked if we were talking about Caitlyn Jenner's passport.
Yes. Now you got to remember, the right has not been. They have been adverse to the LGBTQ community since Trump's first administration. because they fall under quote unquote DEI and woke. Would you agree with that?
Sure, I guess.
Well, I mean, you can't be a guess because you know they ran on DEI and woke since. I mean, that's been their thing, right?
I'll give that to you. I mean, sure, yeah, that's fine.
And so woke, and so the LGBT community falls under woke. So when you look at how they've written these laws, they want to eliminate any laws, any protections for said community. The minute Caitlyn Jenner voted for him, the people on the left, the people in that community are like, you're voting against our rights. And the funny thing is, now fast forward, so that's why the left says that about Caitlyn.
And by the way, that's why I asked Hanson Conservative, would you support the U.S. military going? Because that's essentially what he did. Is that he wouldn't fall for the other side, is what Caitlyn Jenner did. And Hanson Conservative, are you falling asleep on us?
No, I'm just waiting to be asked a question, man.
All right.
So
but listen,
and I appreciate you.
Go ahead.
No. So I came up to answer that. You got to understand, man, this administration, Donald Trump, everything he said and everything that they're looking to do is to marginalize other communities. One of the first executive orders and actions he did when he won this last term was he removed them from the military. And then he told them that they would get their benefits and then turn around and didn't give them their benefits. Are they Americans or are they not?
That's a good question.
Right? I mean, that's the bottom line. If they're Americans, because we keep talking about being an American and being a patriot. If you're a U.S. citizen, fuck your sexual orientation. If you're a U.S. citizen, the laws of this country apply to you as well. They have every right to serve into the military. They have every right to have their own agency over themselves.
But let me ask him, conservative, since he said he wanted a question, conservative, do you agree with him that transgender are Americans and they have every right to serve in the military and protect this nation just like everybody else?
Well, this might surprise you, to be perfectly honest, but I say we should take all transgenders and put them in the military. We put them right up there on the front and let them fight until they can't fight no more.
Why would they not be able to wait? Why would they not be able to fight anymore?
Well, because they probably get shot.
So you want to put the transgender in a position where they get killed. You want them slaughtered is what you're saying.
You just asked me if they could go to the military. If you go into the military, you stand a chance of getting shot.
I have never heard someone suggest that. Hold on. I have never heard someone suggest that enlistees in the military should be put in a position to which they cannot fight anymore because they all get shot. I've never heard anybody else. Do you feel that way about women or just regular people that join, that they should be put in the front lines where they?
Look, we were talking about Caitlyn Jenner's passport. If you want the LGBTQ or the transgender community or whatever else that is included in that to go up and fight, let them fight.
So you believe a transgender? So you believe a transgender person should be given equal opportunity in the military just like everybody else?
Yes, I think they should be using the bathroom of their if they were born a man, they should go into the men's bathroom. I think if they were born a woman, they should go into woman's bathroom. Don't make everybody else feel uncomfortable because you want to pretend you're something that you're not, and go fight in the military. Absolutely.
Okay, can I ask you a question then? Hanson Conservative, since you said that, and this is the demonization of an entire community. When did LGBT, when did transgenders land on this earth? When did they get here?
Well,
hold on, Tim.
I figure right around Biden's presidency.
Yeah. But see, and Tim, the reason I asked the question and you look that way is because that's how they treat them. Yeah. They treat them like they haven't been on this earth just as long as anyone else. That's the funny part. They act like they came from a Mork and Mindy. They act like they came from Orc or some shit. Like they just landed here and all of a sudden they're a problem. This is great. Trump and this right-wing administration has convinced you to demonize people that have been in our society since the beginning of said society. And now all of a sudden they're a problem. This is the crazy part about your rhetoric.
I think what they do and what they try to push is a problem. I think that if I see a dude trying to go into a woman's bathroom and there are kids or women in there, yes, sir.
Pull it up. Okay, fine. Okay, fine, handsome
I'll
conservative.
give you 4 minutes.
I'll bet you $1,000 right now you can't find me shit of substance on the internet to support what you just said. You know why? Because this shit is manufactured. But let me ask you this. Do you think I can find you a stat that shows women being assaulted in bathrooms by heterosexual men faster than you can find me a stat that a transgender assaulted somebody in the bathroom?
Yeah, you got to watch out for those heterosexual men, man. Don't trust them either.
My point is, in all seriousness, you're demonizing a group of people that don't change. There's nothing in your life or anyone that fights this argument that they can say has impacted their life because the numbers don't support it. But we want to demonize them to the point. But guess who's unaliving? Since Donald Trump brought this shit up and the right brought this up, their unalivements have gone up 4 times.
Wow.
4x. Did you know that, Tim?
No, I didn't. You're saying since Trump, you're saying trans deaths by malicious reasons. People are killing trans. You said that number has increased fourfold.
Fourfold with this rhetoric.
We should blame the white man, if you ask me.
Well, again. In all seriousness, and I'm gonna drop because and the reason I will always come up and defend marginalized communities outside of my own, because the people that want to demonize one want to demonize all.
Ooh.
And if we stand and allow this rhetoric to go on without giving people facts to go look up, anybody that's listening, prove what I said was wrong. We have to stop demonizing this country while marginalized people while simultaneously allowing the other perpetrators of much larger crimes to go unpunished. We're having a conversation about transgenders. Well, if you disagree with me, then why haven't they released the other? Hold on. If you disagree, again,
know what to disagree with?
I do, but it's a 2-part question. If you disagree with me, then tell me why they're fighting to keep the other 3 million documents from the e-files from being released. Because we know what's not in there. We know there's nothing in there about transgenders. We know that.
All right, Mike.
If it was about transgenders, they would have released it all.
How do we know what's in there if they haven't released it?
Well, we know they're fighting. We know they're fighting to release it. I don't think anybody believes that there's transgender stuff in the Epstein files. Mike, thanks for coming through.
Hey, handsome conservative, appreciate you.
All right, real quick with you, handsome conservative, before I move it on. You really think the transgender community are a danger to? You think they're a danger to the public?
I think the shit that they try to pull is a danger to the public.
Yep.
I think the more you give them, the more they'll take, and you got to draw the line somewhere.
Well, when you say how you feel about them going in restrooms, what do you think they're going to do in that restroom?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. If you're stopping them from going in there, you're stopping them for a reason.
They can do it in the correct.
But why are you stopping? It ain't you. It ain't somebody. Why are you stopping some stranger from going in the bathroom? Why are you stopping them?
Because a dude has no business being in a woman's bathroom. This is just common sense. A woman has a right to have privacy in the bathroom without worrying about a man dressed up in a dress coming in there and doing God knows what.
Explain God knows what. What does that entail?
I don't know. Whatever they decide to do, dude. I'm not saying that there isn't some that go in there and pee and come out, but I'm saying a woman has a right to her privacy in the women's bathroom without a man coming in.
I also want to ask,
complicated.
Why do we, when we talk about transgender, why do we always go to the man?
I can't believe I'm standing here, standing up for women.
Okay, well, let's do it. Okay, hold on. Then let's do it this way. Instead of having you stand up for women, because when we talk about transgender, we always go to the man that transitioned to a woman. What about the woman that transitions to a man? We don't talk. That's trans as well.
You brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. You've been making some assumptions when we've had these
Really?
conversations.
All of the shit you're talking about, you're going to tell me I'm making assumptions? You're talking about bathroom? All of the shit you're doing is an assumption.
You think I'm only you're saying I'm only talking about men that transform into women. I'm talking about transgender, all of it,
Okay.
the whole kit and caboodle. Women that become men, men that become women, the whole plate. Men belong in the men's restroom, women belong in the women's restroom. It's that simple.
So if a woman has a surgeon fabricate some form of penis on her body, so that now she has a penis down there, you're saying that woman with this new penis should go in the little girl's bathroom where they can literally see this thing. You want that woman to go in the girl's bathroom.
Was she
was born a girl. She was born a woman.
Then if you're born a woman, you're a woman.
So how do you respond to maybe the girls that indicate that they saw a penis on this person? Because you're talking about privacy. Now these little girls can see a penis now. You're okay with that?
Well, first of all, I don't think women's bathrooms. I've not been in one, but I don't think women's bathrooms have urinals, do they?
Well, no, but but it's still a
kind of
possibility that the person could be fixing their clothes or something in front of the mirror or something.
With their penis hanging out.
I mean,
Really?
listen, if the person is fixing their clothes, you may see a lump in their pants.
Look.
You're okay with little girls seeing that, though. You're okay with
If you're
that.
a man, go to the man's room. If you're a woman, go to the woman's room. Now, was there anything else? I mean, other than this?
And once again, if the man has now had a vagina fabricated, you want the man with the vagina to go in so little boys may see this. You're okay with that too, right?
If you are born a man, you're a man. If you are born a woman, you are a woman. That is just biology.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, it's biology.
I'll leave it at that.
But wasn't there something that was going on with Trump that you were talking about?
Well, for time purposes, I got to move it on now because I gave you. That's why I had you on.
Well, in that case, support your local liberal as always, and yeah,
Thank you.
Caitlyn Jenner is a man, dude.
A man that voted for Trump. I gotta go. Appreciate it. And looking in the comments, Pud Packers. I know what you're trying to say there, JC. Pud Packers. P-U-D. I've never heard it termed that way, but I know exactly what you're trying to say. Oh my gosh. I see some cartoon dancing pigs. Somebody's tired. Something is going on. Somebody's extremely sleepy. He's talking about my last guest. He woke up when it was time to talk to him. He sounded like he was asleep, but he was awake. He was awake. Shooting White House dinner. What? What do you mean shooting White House dinner? Hang on a second. I see everybody saying check the news, and I normally have it on. Whoa, really? Is that what you guys are? Is something happened? Give me a minute. Man was unalive. I'm turning on the news. They are no longer the Democrat. Did something happen at the correspondence dinner? That's what everybody's saying. And my television is, give me a minute for my TV to come up. I can't play it for you guys because maybe we can hear it, but I can't play it for copyright purposes. Wow. They didn't get anybody important though, did they? Where is it at? We'll go to News Nation and see what are they talking about here. Why that's coming up. Why aren't CNN? Somebody was shot. Wow. Trump evacuated. Well, we know. Yeah, I see. Correspondence dinner resume momentarily.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I can't imagine the Correspondents Association would proceed if there were anything. If that was any.
My internet is fucked up for the TV. I don't get it because we're talking on this now. But they're based on what I've seen, this little clip, they're saying the Correspondence dinner is going to continue. So, I mean, whatever happened, it must have not been significant enough to end it. I don't know why my show froze up. Damn, he didn't get it. No, I'm looking at Trump being advised by somebody. So Trump is perfectly fine. Praying for Trump and Vance. Trump and Vance apparently are fine.
They should, again, assuming that everything is safe. And as we just heard, that they do have an individual in custody, and that would seem to mean that there is no longer a dangerous circumstance in the building. And if that is the case, they're going to get the president right back out there. I did want to also mention one other thing as I continue to monitor the situation, both what you see and some of what you may not see.
I didn't see the comment, but I see Stevie D in the comments says, Sexy Red, people like you are the problem. So I'm assuming Sexy Red is in the comments, Gangsta Grandma's in the comments, wishing Trump was the target. I'm guessing that.
Welcome back, our anchor of Special Report and our managing editor, Brett Baer. Brett, how are things looking from your vantage point at this hour?
This is Fox News.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kevin, this is, it was just scary, and it was still developing as I was on the phone there, as we kind of went to a holding area where we had a pre-party Fox held before the event, and in the basement of the Hilton. And as we were sitting there getting people together to see how we could egress to get out, three heavily armed cat team members with rifles and full gear came in, saying that they were going room to room, and there was a report that somebody was in one of the rooms, and they were clearing the rooms.
Okay, it doesn't. I mean, it obviously it doesn't sound like anybody of significance. We'll continue with the show, and I'll keep it running in the background. Normally, I have the news on. I didn't have it on this time, but normally I have it on when stuff breaks like this. But obviously, it doesn't sound like anybody of significance was hit. And Fox has the ticker on the bottom of the screen that Trump was rushed from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So we'll see if he comes back. But we'll see if the Correspondents' Dinner happens at all. But how do you get a firearm into something like that? Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, let me continue on with the program. And by the way, I'm not comparing Trump to Adolf or anything like that. But understand if there are people that may be responsible for protecting the president or protecting a world leader that believes that world leader is going too far, and they may take upon themselves. So understand, let's say, for instance, a member of the Secret Service or something like that felt that the president that he's protecting was bad for the country he's serving. I mean, isn't that how Caesar was taken out? People near him. And there were people who tried to take out Adolf like that. Sometimes it can come from, the call can come from within the house is what I'm saying. We all picture some Middle Eastern guy yelling, Allah Akbar or something. That ain't always how it works. That ain't always how it works. You might have a Luigi Maggione that went through training camp and, literally went through the academy and all of that and just simply decided he's going to do the country a solid. I mean, you never know where it could come from. I mean, there are pilots that have came to work and tried to take their own lives with a plane full of passengers. So sometimes it can come from in the house. Anyway, looking in the comments, which is why you need to give everybody a real good psych evaluation, because sometimes it can come from them. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 80,000. Crazy stuff. So I'm assuming Trump is going to probably spin it and suggest that this is the third time somebody's came after him. Damn Democrats are at it again. Trump is really smart in this kind of thing. He's very intelligent when it comes to spinning events like this to his favor. So you may hear him trying to ride on this. Start holding campaign rallies, and it'll help gather some sympathy for the guy. Because even though some MAGA are not happy because of the economy or the Iran war, they don't want the guy slain. Anyway, we'll continue on with the show, though. They showed it with the delay. Times are crazy. In a real situation, streaming should be cut. Yeah, I mean, but the thing about it is, unless you pass a law that requires some kind of delay or streaming, some channels are going to show it because it's worth ratings and clicks. Think about how many folks watched the last moments of Charlie Kirk. The sites on X that showed that got millions of views. I don't know if it was monetized, but that's a lot of money. If you're getting millions of people watching that shit, that's worth thousands of dollars for whoever posted that. They did eventually take Charlie Kirk's last moments down after some folks in the comments were begging for it because his family could see it and things like that. But it was up. You could watch that guy's last moments for a few hours. It was up for a while. That's where I saw it, and I'm sure a lot of you folks saw it there as well. So if somebody puts a hit out on President Trump, you're going to instantly have millions of people worldwide watching that. And then, of course, you see what Gangsta Grandma said in the comments, how some folks may even respond to it. Going back to the box, we'll make it happen with Mr. Realistic. Good evening, Mr. Realistic. We're talking now. This is kind of preempted what we were talking about. The idea that somebody may have tried to go. I guess the only reason you would go into the presidential correspondence dinner is to go out to him, right? Mr. Realistic, good evening.
Hey, good evening to you.
Hey.
I'm sorry, man. Y'all were talking about something else before with the veterans and stuff. I kind of got worked up because I'm a veteran myself.
Let's go. We can go back to that. We can certainly go into that if you wish. Do you believe trans should be able to serve?
That is all right. Look, when I was in, now that was a long time ago. We had all different points of view serving. However, as long as they were mentally stable, whatever, and you kept that shit put away, nobody wanted to fucking see it. And that is the way it needs to be. If you're a stable mind for what you've got to do in those situations, because that lifestyle, you're not going around building churches and making best friends of the rest of humanity. Let's be honest.
Well, if you're in the military, you're not. I mean, listen. Let's say you operate drones. You're in a trailer all day in Vegas, but you're flying drones over the Middle Eastern countries. Does it really matter if you wear a dress?
No, it's not about the dress. It's about a mindset. It's about, all right, let's take a drone guy, for instance, which I personally find that whole deal disturbing. And I think that's going to wreck those people doing that, because you're getting firsthand, especially these FPV drones. You are watching the man you're about to kill. You're going to murder this guy. This isn't combat as I knew it.
What's the difference? What's the difference between? Hold on. What is the difference between flying an a first-person view drone towards the person you're going to kill, as opposed to a sniper looking at the person they're going to kill through a scope? It's the same thing.
Snipers will suffer that same type of deal. I mean, look at Chris Kyle. The man couldn't outrun the faces that he put down. That's the honest truth.
I don't know if I agree, because if I'm a sniper operating a 50 cal, when I pull the trigger, I literally see the pink mist. I see the person explode. Maybe their body's cut in two. If you're flying a first-person drone, all you see is the drone going towards the person you're trying to take out, and the screen goes blank. So you don't see the mess like the sniper does. The sniper sees the mess that happens to the person.
Well, that may be true. I don't fly drones. I don't know. But based on what I've seen, let's go back to the Third Reich. The whole reason for the final solution and the killing centers, it wasn't for humanely putting down another human being. It was because the Einsatzgruppen were breaking under the pressure of murdering people all day long. They opened those killing centers for their own troops because, well, they really needed them killing Russian soldiers instead of murdering civilians. I mean, it was...
So you're saying... You're saying taking out Jewish people all day was actually mentally getting to the German soldiers' order to do it, because they were they were basically shooting them first before the gas chambers, is what you're saying. So you're saying the shooting was affecting them mentally, taking people out all day like that.
Yes, you could go read the accounts about it.
With all the folks in this country saying with all the folks in America saying I stand with ICE. No matter how draconian ICE behaves, perhaps some of the modern day Americans would have been better at that time, because we seem to be okay with stuff like that.
Wait a minute, we've drifted. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just simply saying right now we got not quite as brutal as 1930s Germany, but we got brutality happening in America, and there's a whole lot of people in this country that are saying they favor it. I mean, how many folks favor turning Iran into a sheet of glass right now? Americans seem to be okay with this stuff.
No, I am not okay with that. Now, I will say this. they've been screaming death to America for almost 50 years since I've been alive. One of the first things they did when that group came to power was they seized our embassy. So I really don't have any love lost for smacking the leadership over there. I've lost friends during this war on terror, and Iran funded all of that stuff. So I have no love lost for the leadership, but the people over there, the me's and the you's, they're going to have to rise up and fight for the freedom that they want.
Well, let me be the first to ask you. I'm going to ask you a question. You'll be the first person I want to ask this, because somebody mentioned this the other day, and it really made a light come on in my head, because I was surprised I'd never asked it on my own. But when you said they've been yelling death to America for 40 some odd years, the question I want to ask you is, why? Out of all of the 180 plus nations on earth, why are they yelling death to America? Why not death to Germany? Why are they picking America to yell death to for 40 plus years?
Two reasons. One, we're on the other side of the ocean and it's hard for them to get to us.
So is Canada. Why aren't they yelling death to Canada?
The main reason is that we support Israel materially and morally. And Israel is their sworn enemy.
Are we the only nation on earth that supports Israel?
I would say we're the only one to materially. Who else was over there bombing Iran with Israel when Israel went over there and like, we're not taking this shit. They're about to have a nuke. And even they've admitted, yeah, we've got enough material to make 10 or 11 nukes.
So then, based on what you're saying, based on what you're saying, so if we are protecting and arming their sworn enemy, then they kind of have a reason then to be yelling death to America. We're doing something that is actively harmful to them.
You know what? Fuck that and bullshit. Because when they came to power, they immediately took our embassy and held our people. We hadn't done shit to them till then. So fuck those people.
Wait. So
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So you're saying when they came to power and took the soldiers they took hostage in the embassy are like 4 or 5 years apart. But when they
took civilians, man.
Yeah.
Allied soldiers, they took civilians too. They took everybody.
And they just did that for no reason at all.
They did it to embarrass Carter.
But why did they want to embarrass Carter? Out of all the world leaders on earth, why him? Why did they want to embarrass him?
Because Carter supported the Shah.
So we were involved in their politics.
No, we just supported them. I don't know if we were involved in it, but we were supporting them. I don't know if we supported them materially or not.
Was America the only nation on earth that supported the Shah?
That I don't know.
Right, because I'm trying to figure out why, out of all these nations on earth, why are they singling out America? There has to be. America's a long way from Iran, and they're constantly coming at this one country. There has to be a reason why they're doing that. That doesn't make sense. They just picked America, but just spun the globe and decided we're going to mess with America. There has to be something there more to it.
I haven't been alive long enough, I guess, because that's all that I know. And it's just like if I'm throwing rocks at your house every day and saying the handsome liberal must die, at some point you're going to come over and beat my ass to make me stop.
Right. But when I come and beat your ass, and the police ask me why I beat your ass, and I say he's been throwing rocks at my house for years, saying I must die. First question they're going to ask, why does he want to kill you? There's got to be some reason why he's targeting your house.
Okay, so tell me why I'm throwing rocks at your house.
Maybe I fucked with you. Maybe I slept with your wife or hurt your kids. You don't just do that for no reason at all. I don't done something to you that's causing you to have that beef.
Oh, man, you take my ex-wife. I'm making beer for us, brother. We doing all right.
Very fun. But no, what I'm saying is simply this. When we start with them yelling death to America, and it's almost like showing you a video of cops just firing at a guy who's laying on the ground and taking his life, and not giving you any context as to why they started shooting him. He had to do something to be in that position. If they're yelling death to America, they didn't just make that up out of thin air. Something happened to get them that way. And we don't cover that. We just start out with the guy on the ground getting shot. We're not talking, well, why did it happen? Why are they yelling death to America? They never mentioned that.
Well, I'm going to say you need a caller to probably explain that because I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, and that's important because it sounds like we in this country are only being fed half the story. It's like I said, the same way you would view the cops shooting somebody and them not telling you the guy was a wanted criminal that had, maybe took out some folks. Something else is to this story. They didn't just start popping the guy for no reason. They didn't just start yelling death to America because it was a healthy phrase to say. Something else is there. And I see Hanson Conservative says it's about decency. Yeah, it's history. Because you're saying 47 years, you're right. We've had a beef with them for the longest. But them yelling death, because we used to be friendly with Iran. We used to sell them F-14 fighter jets and everything. Tehran was a place you could actually go visit as an American. Something happened. They didn't just jump up and start yelling death to America for no reason. So they have a story that we're not telling in America. Whether their story is accurate or not, maybe it's fabricated. We can go into a debate about that. But we are not being told their side. We're just seeing them as the enemy, as if they just developed out of thin air. And there's something missing there.
Well, now, it's the Islamist regime that took care of it. If you know people from Iran, and I do know a few, Farsi is the language that they speak. It is different from Arabic. And Farsi is a language spoken by the Persians, and the people that speak Farsi consider themselves true Iranians and different from the people that have taken that ruling class.
Okay.
There is some internal politics going on there, which is also why right now I think you've probably got why we can't seem to be able to get to the table between us and Israel. We've killed so much of their leadership that there's probably a power struggle going on. And I honestly don't think this ends well for anybody, including the Iranians, because the only way I see this ending with the Farsi speakers, the ones that consider themselves true Persian, they want to go back to being that, which is going to require them to revolt and rise up against the ruling class now. So my personal perception is that civil war is in the brew over there, and nobody wins in that.
Do you support Trump's the war, conflict, excursion, whatever they want to call? Do you support what he's doing now in Iran?
I begrudgingly support it because it has to be done. If they get a nuclear weapon, I know a little bit about the regime's outlook and the Ayatollahs and all that. And one of their religious edicts is basically to bring about the end of the world to, I guess, like usher back in Allah that comes back. Basically, it's, what do you call it? The book of Revelations for the Christians.
Okay.
That is kind of their goal. And that, I mean, if you're a religious man and you've read the book of Revelations, that is the scariest damn book I've ever read in my life.
I'm not big on the Bible because I think nothing starts wars more than religion. I mean, you got Pete Hegseth up there now giving a death count of how many people we've killed over there, and then he's praying and thanking God for all this. I don't like mixing war and religion in the same. I mean, because that was something we always thought they did, but now the Trump administration is literally giving war reports and starting it off with prayer. Like it just looks like you're painting a holy war of some sorts, Christians versus Muslims or something like that. Our government did not used to do that. Now that right there is what concerns me.
I'm not going to necessarily disagree with you on that. I mean, we were born a Christian nation. That's fact. They were free. They were fleeing persecution from the different Christian sects in Europe when they colonized North America. We were born under that. Now, Christians and Muslims and Jews have been at each other's throats, as well as other religions. Other religions have been at other religions. I mean, you could just take religion out of it altogether because, you know, if you actually believe the Bible, it started with Adam, Eve, and they had 2 sons. We couldn't even make it to 4 people before one killed the other. You know, let's just be honest. We have some personality problems getting along with one another for whatever reason. And I mean, my stepfather raised me to not want to go in the military, and the more he railed against it, the more I wanted to go. And looking back in life, I honestly believe that I'm thankful he curtailed some of the things that I wanted to do, because at my older years in life, I realize how harmful conflict can be. Now, I also understand there's a time when you got to punch somebody because it isn't going to end any other way.
But let me ask you that, because you say it's, and by the way, folks who are have been watching, if you got the news tuned in as well, they say it was a shooting at the Correspondents' Dinner. Obviously, nobody of that we know of has been hit, and they're saying that President Trump is going to come back to the dinner. So apparently, they're going to continue this. I don't know if I'd want to come back if I was the president, but he wants to paint a picture of him being a fighter, if you know what I mean. So we'll see what happens, but apparently that's what they're saying, is he's going to come back. I don't know what the condition of the person that got shot or even the shooter is, other than they said somebody's in custody. Real quick before we continue there, Mr. Realistic, Madden Hack says the United States overthrew Iran's elected leader in 1953 to control their oil. Then we backed a brutal dictator. Generations of Iranians inherited that anger. So he is giving Canada a statement of me asking you earlier. Death to America had to originate somewhere. He's saying that we were involved in their politics back in the 50s, trying to control their resources. And we have been in that region going all the way back, so that's what he is saying. I'm not totally aware of it. His history lesson is better than I am. I'm going to admit ignorance, but I do know death to America would have had to originate somewhere. In the comments, Hanson Conservative says there are many religions, but only one way to father the. There are many religions, but only one way to the Father through the Son. Well, you got to believe Jesus exists. A lot of religions don't believe in the Son portion of that. So, but no. So what were we saying there? I got thrown out, Mr. Realistic. You there? I got kind of thrown off track, but I wanted to read that because that does sound like where what he is doing is giving a reason for where that death to America came from. Do you think there's a possibility that we interfered with the ongoings of their government to their detriment, like he's saying?
I absolutely will not deny we've overthrown a lot of governments. If I'm sure he's done a quick Google search at a minimum. The man could also be a history professor. I have no idea. But I'm not going to argue with him on that point. Do I think we could have overthrown him? Absolutely. And that would make sense, but in the 1950s, I'm not saying we didn't. I don't know why we would.
I mean, we've been hating Russia since the 1950s, basically since the breakup of World War II. I mean, what they call it, grudges can last a long time.
Well, when you put it into that perspective, and put my geography back in my mind for a minute, it makes a whole lot of sense why we'd overthrown to have a cordial relationship for materially strike, because at that day and age, nuclears were dropped by really bombers, because the missile technology was just beginning.
Yeah, it was in its infancy.
So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
So then what I'm going to say before I move it on from you is that story, if what he is saying has even an inkling of validity to it, that needs to be added on to the story of why the police are shooting this man on the ground. That has something to do with why he's getting shot. If they're yelling death to America, his statement of how us going over there and fucking with their politics to the detriment of their citizens and their resources, that predates Death to America, but it needs to be added into that story because it has possibly something to do while they're yelling it. I mean, we're not saying it. We're just making it sound like these folks just developed a hatred towards us and started acting on it for no reason at all. There has to be something there.
Well, I also have another theory about why we went into this. Two reasons, really. One, to stop them from getting a nuclear bomb. But I honestly think the primary reason was because China was getting a lot of oil from them. We've been hostile to China. They told us no more magnets, and I think we just told them that fuck you, no more oil.
Well, in regards to stopping them from getting a nuclear bomb, I also would wonder why is the rest of the world not so gung ho to stop? I mean, we're more gung ho in between America and Israel. We're the loudest in saying they should not have a nuclear bomb. Even folks that are closer to them are not as gung ho in preventing them from becoming a nuclear power like America is. We're the loudest ones saying they shouldn't be able to defend themselves. Why is that?
Because they've directly told us that when they get one, they're going to nuke us.
Right.
I mean, this is the same way as me telling you that as soon as I get a torch, I'm going to burn down your house. At how long do I have to keep doing this before you're like, I got to do something? You know, this man's crazy. Sometimes your words have meaning and they carry weight. And even if you don't mean them, they may get a reaction.
Fair enough. Well, last question. Now that they've been yelling death to America and we're holding them accountable for this threat, now that our president has stated that he was going to end their whole civilization, what's the difference? I have to ask that. What's the difference between death to America and your whole civilization is going to die?
I actually was really pissed when he let out that statement. I don't think he was threatening to nuke them, but you don't need to nuke them to kill their whole civilization. You don't need to do that. You can just, as Trump says, like we got endless bombs, as he said. You can just keep blowing them up conventionally. Nah, that ain't gonna work.
Biological, anthrax, some type of biological weapon. You don't have to use a nuke. There are other ways to destroy their country. He talked about the desalination plants, cutting off the power. There's a lot of other ways to really hurt them.
That is true. Man, I don't know. I voted for the man 3 times, and right now I got 50% buyer's regret. But I got to be honest, this is still all the Democrats' fault because the sons of bitches fucked up the last election and didn't give us any other choice.
No chance you could be talked into her 2028?
Fuck no.
I got to move it on. You've been a good guest. I'll certainly look forward to hearing from you again sometime in the future, Mr. Realistic. Thanks for coming through.
Yes, sir. And one more thing before we go, and by all means, what say you to everyone else? But about people that serve, be they trans, this, that, and the other, unless you've served, my personal opinion is you guys need to not comment on that because well, I'm not going to say you don't. You may not understand the pressures that people are under that do these jobs. And don't be saying shit like we need to put all these certain people up front because then they get shot and die. That's a fucking lot of bullshit against my friends that stood by my side. That's bullshit about the guys that are standing the fucking line today trying to keep bad people from doing bad things to us. You guys be respectful.
I can't argue with that. That is well said. Mr. Realistic, that is very realistic. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Doors always open to you. All right, moving on with the program. That was a powerful ending to that, and I gotta concur with that. Now, I haven't served, but I agree with the way he closed that. Tap the screen and get the light. And I wasn't expecting that from a 3-time Trump voter. That goes kind of against what MAGA stands for, even though he voted for Trump. But he did say 50%, which is significant. 50% buyer's remorse. That's a lot. Tap the screen, get the lights on up to 85,000, if you will. The program is, as always, we don't block, ban, or censor. We're MAGA friendly. Been MAGA friendly since day one, always have been, always will. We don't black ban or censor. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders, so I'm having dinner with Q. You can be critical of anyone on the program, including yours truly. Madden Hack says the guest, referring to my last guest, says guest is an idiot. Has a strong opinion, but then says he don't know. Well, look, he has a strong opinion based on his politics. And I think there's a lot of MAGA, I think there's a lot of Americans, period, because I'm admitting of being one myself. I don't know the true nature of the fallout between the Americans and the Iranians. Like I said, I know for a fact we used to sell them F-14s. Those are the jets you've seen around the early, I think they were the mid 70s because they were featured in Top Gun. So they were phasing out somewhere around there. So those are F-14 fighter jets, what, Gen 3, I think they were. But anyway, we sold plenty of those to Iran. And once we had a falling out with them, we stopped selling them parts and things like that. So they had to salvage them or whatever the case may be. In fact, speaking of Top Gun, if you watch Top Gun 2, they kind of played on that where you see Tom Cruise jump into one of those older aircraft, like he jumped into an F-14, which is what he used to fly. But I don't want to get too deep down the movie road. But we used to be friends with Iran. So something happened for us to have a falling out. And when we continue talking about their yelling death to America, and I'm going to say this in my Charlie Kirk reference. Anytime you bring up criticism of Charlie Kirk, you're taking his words out of context. Death to America is not being put in proper context. That is originating from somewhere. In fact, if you're in a debate, I'm talking to everyone watching, if you're in a debate, because I'm going to do this from now on. If you're in a debate with somebody and they bring up, we had to do something because they were yelling death to America, ask them why. Why did they, out of all of the 180, 190 nations on earth, why are they yelling death to this one place? Why not death to France? Death to Russia? Why are they yelling death to America, a country that's all the way on the other side of the ocean? There has to be a reason why. Our government is not telling us that. Our government is literally making it sound like for no reason at all, these people just started hating us. There's more to that story. It may not make Iran look any better, but there is more to that story that you're not being told. Obvious propaganda, if you ask me. Tap the screen, get the likes up. If you're watching us on YouTube, by the way, smash that like button. It helps out the algorithm. It does bring in more MAGA. Real quick before we go to the next caller, the survey I posted earlier, or the poll rather, I'm going to change it. 307 votes came in so far, and it's been close the whole time. The question was, this is on YouTube, which president is better for the border? I asked this question about an hour ago. Two answers. You can either choose Biden or Trump. After 307 folks came through, 54% said Trump is better for the border, 46% says Biden. That's pretty close. Wow. I would have thought a lot more folks would have felt Trump was more effective on the border. 46-54, and it's been that way the whole time, almost 50-50, neck and neck. Anyway, looking in the comments, it was possibly another disillusioned Trumper says run with scissors. Look, whatever happened at the correspondence dinner, I don't automatically say disillusioned. There are reasons to not like a president, left or right. So there are reasons. In the comments, Taco Out took many years ago. Well, it doesn't matter what years. If you're going to say they've been saying death to America for 47 years, we need to know why they're saying it. I don't see any reason why that is not a legitimate question to ask. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap, hat and mustache. Go support the program. It is indeed the one and only Gangsta Grandma. We're getting everything right today, correct?
No, I'm sexy, honey. I'm not no gangster grandma no more.
Okay. All right. Well, your name is kind of etched into the imagination here.
Up everything, Timmy Tim Tim. Like you are a undercover maggot that drinks a lot of damn bleach, man. On God.
Let me ask you something. Even if for some reason I was an undercover MAGA, not maggot, that's an insult.
Maggot.
MAGA.
I gotta get the raid because if you ever voted for that man, you'd be roaches for raid, man, for real.
Okay, I need to know, but before you, I want to ask you what's wrong with being MAGA. But before you answer that, in the comments, Madden Hack says Earth to America, or better yet, death to America meant death to the U.S. government and its interference, never towards American citizens. Oddly enough, that's interesting you saying that because the Trump supporters are trying to defend Trump's statement of whole civilization dying by saying he only meant the government of Iran, not the citizens. So you're saying death to America only means the government here. Interesting. So what do you think? Why do you think they're yelling death to America, Sexy Red?
They don't like Trump. They want Trump done with. I don't blame them. I wish they got there. I wish that the idiots are trying to unalive his ass do it right, man. Like, come on, man. Like, this is like what the fourth time they try. But I think this is all a stage, though. Every time something happens to Donald Duck, it always happens in front of a camera. Like, he so-called got pew-pewed in his ear that his whole ear would have been gone.
Why is that a surprise? If somebody tries to take the president out, there's almost guaranteed in the age of technologies, there's almost a guarantee it's going to happen in front of a camera. He can't go outside with somebody aiming a camera at him.
Whoever took out the CK,
It's not the fucking president.
But that person knew what the fudge they was doing. He knew how to lean that damn time and drip.
Well, apparently, Trump is supposed to.
Why can't they do that shit to the Donald Duck, man? Let him lead.
Oh my God! They will make it. Hold on. They will make it. This is coming from the Trump Truth Social account. They will make a decision shortly. Regardless of that decision, the evening will be much different than planned, and we'll just play. Hold on, hang on. Let me read the. Look, let me read it. This is in regards to what he's talking about. What's going on? It says, regardless of that decision, the evening will be much different than planned, and we'll just plain have to do it again. President Trump. So he's making.
I don't care.
Why are you so?
Damn. Why don't he just unalive already?
Why do you hate the man so much? Damn.
He don't like us. Hey, let me tell you, he don't like our fucking black and brown asses for one.
He doesn't want you to die.
Shit. If he could have his damn way, he would have had to ship all of us out. What are you talking about? He wants his damn American white tea again.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You trying to tell me that President Trump, if he could have his way, he would have the lives of brown and black people taken like Hitler or something like that?
Yep.
No.
He's a mini of him. Hey, hallelujah.
You know there's a suggestion that President Trump even used to date a black girl. What are you talking about?
Oh, shut up. He probably doesn't know what chocolate even looks like. He's so sprung on his fucking uncooked protein looking ass. Golly. And you know what? I don't even think a black woman would ever be that damn desperate to ask something like that. Ugh, God. Ugh.
I think you just.
I would be you know what, Chip? I'll be a straight damn lesbian. If a motherfucker, a white tea man was the last man on earth, I'll tell him I'm a straight damn fucking lesbian. Good.
I got it. Well, you know, you always bring about some of the most interesting comments, and tonight is no exception. In the comments, John Tiano says, "This snatch can't think her way out of a paper bag." What say you?
This snatch would snatch your fucking soul, you dipshit bitch. But unfortunately, I don't swing to the uncooked protein.
How do you know it's a white guy?
Oh, he is white.
Could be a black. He could be a black guy that just.
No. That was a white tea man. And that's why they mad. Do you know how many white men are in my inbox saying that they would they want me? You want to tell them? In your dreams. No.
Why won't you listen? You're talking about white people. Like, why won't you give a white man a chance? You might actually be turned out.
You don't have me choking my blood.
I'm being serious.
Well, okay, for one, I would never get turned out by a white tea man. I would never have them in my vajayjay. Okay, I wouldn't. I can't. No. My shit's pure. Thank you.
Pure? What are
I
you?
don't need no salmonella, uncooked mayonnaise, any drip in my shit. I'm sorry.
You might make beautiful little mixed white babies. I don't know why you're being so
I
hateful.
don't care. I would never intermix with that. No, I'm pro-black all day, every day. I was born that way. I will now die that way. Thank you.
I don't.
Chocolate all day, baby. Chocolate all day.
Well, like I said, I don't know why you hate the guy so much. He ain't did nothing to you.
What? Wait, hold on. Who? Donald Duck? Let me tell you what he's done to me, okay?
Nothing.
He has said, yes, he has.
President Trump, what has President Trump done to you directly?
Now, let me tell you something. My kids' friends have got pulled out of their homes and shit from ICE, thinking that they was undocumented and shit. Fuck me and tell me that shit. Let me tell you something. I have people, my friends and stuff, are terrified because they're thinking that they're not gonna get their green cards and they doing it the right way. And the racist pieces of shit. Fuck me with your shit. Tell me what they haven't done.
Well, first of all, ICE is just simply trying to protect the country and get the bad people out.
Oh, ICE is simply protecting shit. All they want is the black and brown people out of here. This is history repeating itself. And if you ever think, Tim, that you're safe in the United States, you're stupid. And you drink too much of their Kool-Aid.
Okay.
None of us is safe. Look what they're doing in the Supreme Court right now with the birthright citizenship. Think about it. What has birthright citizenship was for? Black people. Now, if you don't think if you think you're safe, I would never trust a white man. Don't ever think that shit's safe.
Okay, when you
Let
say-
me tell you something. The Mexicans were here before your black ass was.
Well,
Let's keep it a buck.
When you say I will,
They
hold on.
native.
Okay, when you say I will never trust a white man, you do realize that makes you sound like a fucking racist, right?
You want a cookie?
So you're admitting
You want a
it.
fucking cookie?
So you're admitting
I'm not
it.
racist. You know what? No, let me tell you something, Tim, with your uncooked protein looking ass. Let me tell you something. You like to get on your fucking knees to the white man. You like to suck their cock. I don't. I tell the damn truth. You don't like me telling the fucking damn truth on your ugly.
I don't
fucking
like you
winkle
being.
looking ass.
I got nothing to do
You
with.
don't like me telling the truth about the white tea man. The white tea man don't even like telling the damn truth about their damn selves. They don't like to hear the truth. How the colonizers, how the savages, how they did us, fed us to the damn alligators, our babies and stuff. They don't want to hear nothing what they did. Nothing what they did for 400 years. And now they're repeating itself all over again. They want Jim Crow back up in here. They want to take women's rights away.
Where have you heard?
What the fuck?
Where the hell
What
have
the
you?
fuck?
Where?
And
What?
you over here tapping for the white tea man. Oh, you so racist.
Where?
What the fuck? You want a damn cookie?
Where the hell have you ever heard that white men want Jim Crow back? You're just making up shit on the white people. Jim Crow, really?
Tim, I want to be very blunt with you. I don't give a fuck what you say about me, because I'm going to terrorize your ugly black ass.
Well, before you do, Handsome Conservative says, why would the last man on, he says, why would the last man on earth even want you? That's what Handsome Conservative says.
Bitch, who wants to fuck your ugly white teacher ass? Who the fuck wants to something that can't when you breathe fucking hard, even talking. Like on here. Get the fuck out of here with your $2 Willy Wonka looking ass. What the fuck? Like, I want to fuck your ugly 2 centimeter Peter uncooked protein looking ass. Like, they really think I want their white trailer trash.
We lost Gangsta Grandma and gave her a. It kind of happens when she gets passionate. I can't stop we don't block, ban, or censor. You guys know that. This is all about free speech. But I can't stop the apps. Sometimes Gangsta Grandma, when she gets passionate, the TikTok app does something adverse to her. So they took her down again. Yes, the family Zoboil, that's exactly what happened. Big Dog says about time. By the way, folks, tap the screen. Get us on up to, we might be across the 100,000 hump if you let your fingers not be lazy. Let your thumbs not be lazy. Tap the screen. Get us up. Get us in the 90s. while I'm watching my Cubs lose this game. The correspondence dinner apparently is going to happen. How do you get a gun in that shit? Is the security around Trump that lapsed? How do armed men keep getting close to this dude? So I don't know about that one. Cooking for the white massa, says Eddie. Yikes. Trump had Cruz. Trump had what tonight? What does that say? Trump had Kurz tonight. I don't get what you're saying there. It's too easy. Tim baits her. He's tired of. I don't. Wait, he says Tim baits her. Tim baits her in when he's tired of talking to her. Well, first of all, I don't get tired of talking against the grandma. She's a really loved figure on the program. I mean, I've had folks ask me about her almost on every show. You heard Handsome Conservative if he came on the show. First thing he asked was, have I missed Gangsta Grandma? People like talk. People like hearing from her. I mean, it's simple as that. People like hearing from her. So it ain't got nothing to do with me. Tim, why when you say that, you always hold up the MAGA hat? They censor all the time. Because I don't. I hold up the MAGA hat. You'll see the MAGA hat behind me in all my lives because I do believe Republicans, conservatives, and particularly MAGA don't always get a fair shake in the mainstream media. They do get censored. So regardless of my politics or any of the politics of viewers, this show will always be MAGA friendly, and that's the purpose of the hat. So even though the show is named The Handsome Liberal, you understand that MAGA gets to speak. I get hammered by liberals for letting MAGA speak, but we believe in free speech. MAGA will always be welcome here, and they'll always be able to speak, just like the liberals are, without censorship. Thank you for the guest spot, and love me some Gangsta Grandma. She wants me, says Mr. Realistic. Oh, Lord. Mr. Realistic, she didn't like your comment. That's bad. That's bold of you, but appreciate the support. Have a nice weekend, brother from the UK. Says, I would Biscuit, Vilder Biscuit or something like that. I would love to talk to somebody from the UK. I would like to know what is the sentiment towards America from you folks in the UK now. I had talked to a woman, and I'll go to the box shortly here. Tap the screen, get us up to 100,000. She's what is she called? Conservative girl or something like that. She's a naturalized American citizen, been in the country for years. She is MAGA. We talked today, and we were hashing topics around. She still favors Trump. Her main issues were the border and trans. And I told her, if those are your two main issues, I understand why you're happy with Trump. He's done a good job on the border and trans, even though a lot of his other promises he hasn't measured up. And thank you for the hat and mustache, Marty Marr. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. But in talking to her, I asked her, because she's from the UK, I asked her, are Americans more free than they are in the UK? And she said, yeah. She said Americans here, she's from the UK. She says we have more freedom here in America than they do in the UK. She gave an interesting answer as to why they're more free, but we'll talk about that another time. Tim, did you get your money from the Southern Poverty Law Center yet? No. And I haven't got my stimulus check from the Trump administration either. So I'm a broke motherfucker. So donate to the program. A few galaxies, hat and mustache, TikTok caps. You know what we talk about. Let me go to the next caller. But no, they are just as racist, says MDJ. I haven't seen anything to prove that. I haven't seen anything to prove that they are just as racist as you're saying. I've heard a ton of allegations. Haven't seen any proof. King Finn, the man so dope he has his own theme music.
Hey man, what's going on?
Not much at all. Before we start chopping it up, I do want to thank Steph Aroon, I29 for the generous support. Appreciate that. Burning 47, friend of the program. Good on you. So you've heard a lot. What am I getting wrong? You see what Gangsta Grandma put me through the coils again, but am I getting anything wrong here? We're doing it right, correct?
You
fluffing, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. Check me out. Hey man, everybody, it's 235 people in here right now. It's 94K in the room, right? 94K likes. We got to get them likes on up.
Thank you.
Can we get them up to like 100K?
Hell yeah.
Like he's sitting here endangering himself, even though he be fluffing. With
There is no fluffing.
opponents, right? He endangering himself, y'all. Right now, he's endangering himself in his own community, in his own hood, messing around with these crazy ass white tea folks. So we gonna at least try to show you some love, all right? That's first of all. Second of all, yeah, you fluffing. You know damn well that shit Mr. Realistic said earlier was bullshit. You let him say all that garbage out the side of his mouth. You know I ain't even with that shit.
Well,
And
first
then-
of all, before we go into questioning you on what bullshit did he say, you're talking about white people and all of that stuff. What about, as President Trump said, good people on both sides? There are good people on the white side as well, right?
Though? But see, I don't see black people running up and down the street with badges unaliving black kids. I don't see black people having to have. I don't see white people having to have marches like Ferguson. I don't see any any white people that are having to deal with having to pull their children out of trees at Delta State University. I don't see that happening from them. Do you see any?
Yeah,
white
I
kids?
do. Yeah.
Wait. No.
You're covering a lot, but yes.
No white kids. You don't see no white kids getting picked up by ICE, do you?
I saw two white people get shot by ICE in Minnesota, killed. There was nobody black getting murdered. They were white.
You're right. And how much of a stink did we put about that? But before them two white people got unalived, how many other black, brown, and Asian, Asian, and other color people of color was done a horrible fucking way before Renee Goody and Alex Preddy. Don't get me wrong again, because I'm from Minnesota, so I can definitely understand. But while y'all talking about all of this shit about what white people don't do, remember the fact that the white man is the original oppressor, the original colonizer, the original person of real fucking violence. So please don't do that.
Original how? Can you do realize this shit, slavery and all of that was happening in Africa?
And I'm not gonna forget. I'm sorry. I can forgive, possibly. Forget, no. The original savages are the ones who brought us over here.
Listen, let me just say, hold on. Let me, I gotta disagree and push back. It's not like before the slave trade began, black people were just in Africa living happy-go-lucky. They were tribal and enslaving each other and doing that shit already to themselves. It ain't like white started this.
Tim, who had a 200-year war?
What?
Was that white people or black people? Who had a 200-year war? Was that a white people or black people?
What does it got to do with what I said, though?
What does it have to do with what I'm saying? You might be right. Black people might not have been just chilling and kicking it and eating berries. There's a whole bunch of other shit that happened on the continent of Africa that none of y'all seem to remember. But who in the hell had the 200-year war?
What war?
When they say this country was founded, who did the Trail of Tears?
You're talking about the Native Americans. That happened
Who brought black people on chains through the transatlantic and Atlantic slave trade and beat the hell out of them and performed chattel slavery? Who performed Jim Crow, Tim?
In this country, the white man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what were you saying?
I'm just simply
I will forgive, but I will not forget. Just like 9/11, they say, never forget. Me neither, motherfucker. Me neither.
Well, I'm just
sorry.
And real quick in the comments, somebody challenged me. Mr. Smith says, name the African groups who were fighting Tim. Well, as many point out, when they went into the slave trade, it ain't like they just went. Like if you watch the movie Roots, they're on horseback and they're going around rounding up people with nets and things like that. Now, in reality, a lot of those folks are rounded up by the heads of their own community and sold to the folks that arrived by boat.
Tim,
so that's the argument. Go ahead.
Tim, this is the argument that you would very much so lose. I don't want you to lose your black following. You already be halfway about to lose your black card.
I'm not going to lose my black following because I'm not going to disagree that what the white man has done to African Americans in this country has been horrendous, but I'm not going to pretend like that's the only place it was happening. I am going to cover it all.
I want you to. I want to make sure that you do. but let's make sure we cover it the right way.
Okay.
Going further on.
Okay.
Going further on. Are we going to act like this is not another case of your boy wearing a maxi pad on his ear and this fake ass correspondence dinner supposedly to try to take him out again? Did he pump his fist this time?
So no, you didn't get one of these photos again. But what you're telling me, what you're telling me is that you believe this was staged. You believe what happened in Butler?
It was staged. Yes. Come on, all of this shit is staged. It's the White House dude. It's a correspondence dinner.
You do realize in Butler, Pennsylvania. Wait, hold on. The one that happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. You do realize somebody was killed, right?
Yep.
But yet you believe it was staged.
You do realize cartilage does not grow back, correct? Does cartilage grow back?
I don't think so.
Wait.
Buster
Did
Douglas.
Evander Holyfield's cartilage grow back after Mike Tyson bit his ear, Tim? Did it?
No, maybe.
Oh, okay. Cut that shit.
Maybe Trump got hit with some shrapnel or something. By the way, for my YouTube viewers, I need you guys to smash that like button. If you're watching this on YouTube,
yeah, he do. Smash the like button.
Smash that like button on YouTube. We try to deliver entertaining content. By the way, give us a sub if you're watching on YouTube. If you're currently watching on TikTok, Instagram. Hold on. If you're currently watching on Instagram, TikTok, or Substack, follow the program. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a sub. We're here most weekdays. Okay, so you believe all of this stuff is staged?
Wait, Tim, did your ear get a little itchy when you thought about it?
No. In the comments, Houston says, Tim, this is why the YNs don't listen to or respect men like you. You're bringing up what others do. I'm losing the YNs? Really? Come on now. I want the YNs. Danny Dan.
You're trying to get YNs to stop calling themselves YNs, first of all.
Thank you.
Second of all, I'm trying to go back to what your boy was talking about. You losing the perspective of the conversation. He at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He was about to get flamed up anyway. All we really got to do is wait for him to do this 30-minute fake-ass performance where he probably going to fall asleep halfway again and then watch SNL because SNL is about to make a mockery of this shit. This is about to be hilarious. I can't wait. They probably cleared off a little bit.
They would have to clear everything off. Yeah, they would have to clear everything they've learned because this is breaking news right now. It'll be the number one segment on. I get up in the morning on Sundays and watch This Week with George Stephanopoulos and Meet the Press, and they got to preempt that as well. So it'll be the number one segment for that too. Do you think there's going to be a time when somebody possibly is successful? Because you wouldn't do this at a correspondence dinner unless he was the target. Do you think there's going to be a time when somebody might succeed?
But Tim, I want you to understand something, right? If they're trying to actually unalive him, why would you do it at a presser like this? You wouldn't do it at a presser like this.
Maybe this is the only time. Maybe this is the only moment you were able to get a firearm close enough.
No. Because why would he be able to get a firearm close? Is there not guards there? Is there not metal detectors? Is all of that stuff not there? Did we just say, okay, so since this Trump, he doesn't need any of that protection, but it happened for Bush. Reagan, it happened for second Bush.
I saw a man throw a shoe at Bush.
All those people, when they had White House Correspondents' Dinners, they had full security, metal detectors, and the whole nine. But since it's Trump, he don't need that.
So you're telling me all these attempts on the president's life are staged?
Hell yeah. Yes. With the exception of the one where the boy was down there in Mar-a-Lago and he just not happened to be there, I believe, yes, all of the ones where, quote unquote, he was about to get shot are fake. They're all staged. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. Because I don't believe that there's a real reality where they love this man this much that they pushed him to the highest landed office, and now all of a sudden, for some strange unknown reason, they're going to let a Democrat. Because that's what they're going to say. You already know the first thing he's going to say is it was the radical left, right?
Yeah, of course.
You already know that, right?
That I agree.
How many radical left people did you see in the audience at the correspondence dinner? Wasn't that many, was
It could be the media. Maybe he'll say the media was part of
it?
it.
Come on, dog.
I'm just telling you where he's gonna go. I'm agreeing with you on this.
It's got to be the cameraman. The cameraman got a semi-automatic in his camera. Fuck out of here, man.
Isn't there a movie like that? The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. Isn't that what was happening? The gun was in the camera.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Tim. It would be more likely that somebody tried to take him out by using something that he was going to ingest than actually use a projectile to try to take him out at a correspondence dinner. It's a lot easier to put some boric acid on his Big Mac than it is to fire off a cannon.
I don't know. Why are they trying to hit this guy?
You do.
The guy is just.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know why they're coming at him because the guy literally is trying to make America great again.
You don't put.
That's what the hat says.
Find out where you stay. Because I'm gonna take all them hats out and burn them like they were Bud Lights after that Trans commercial came on. I'm gonna burn all of them at the same time in a fire pit over some ribs with some barbecue sauce on them, and they're gonna make my ribs great again.
By the way, you mentioned now you're former military. You're military, right?
No, sir, I am not.
Okay, because you mentioned you attacked Mr. Realistic. I wanted to get your piece on that but he's military, you're not. So
on what part?
No, him the trans stuff. He said about the military. If you haven't served, stay out of the conversation. Is what he said.
You know what's weird to me? What's weird to me about that? These people are so worried about what somebody else do in the bathroom, but I'm more worried about them when I walk into the bathroom, because these are the people that have their not their correspondence dinners, but their memorials, and they crash Grindr. These are the same people who are so worried about their kids coming home transgender, but they the ones that's touching their kids in the first place. 1 in 7 white men, there's avid proof out there if you want to check the stat. 1 in 7 white men is a kid diddler, right? 1 in 7. They got so much.
You believe you believe the numbers are that high?
The numbers are that high. 1 in 7 are kitty touchers, right? But y'all so worried about what somebody else is doing in the bathroom. Y'all so worried about a woman wearing makeup, but y'all got a president wearing makeup right now.
56-44, by the way. I'm gonna start another poll, but 56%, folks. We had almost 400 folks who answered the poll. 56% said Trump was better at handling the border than Biden. 44% to Biden. So the poll kind of did start to swing. I'm just.
Is he though?
This is what the people said.
You sure?
This is what the people said.
You did that on YouTube, didn't you?
Yeah.
You probably did. Yeah. That's what I thought.
50. Well, I think in terms of America, most folks would view Trump as more favorable to the border than Biden. I think that would be.
Yeah, you say so. I'm not even trying to, because I don't see the point in trying to do that, because the immigration has always been a problem. But again, Biden isn't the one who ran on immigration and giving up the Trump files, did he? No, Trump did that.
True. But
right?
but the idea.
Did Biden run on no new wars and giving up the Trump files?
No, but the idea is that the border's always been a problem. I agree with you. Immigration has always been a problem. But the idea is that Trump has finally been the president of choice to do something about the problem.
No, I don't believe that either. That's just like you saying the border is closed when we all know it's not.
Has the man done anything good in your eyes, damn it?
No. Sorry, I can't think of one possible thing.
Just a totally useless commander-in-chief.
Well, he's a totally useless human being. He's not just a commander-in-chief. He's a totally useless human being. If I had my choice, I would tell him his favorite 2 words: "You're fired."
Kenny in the comments says this guy has lost his mind. So
I don't care what Kenny says. Kenny can kiss my ass. Kenny is probably a right-wing incel sitting in his mama's basement talking to his girlfriend, who actually just happens to be his cousin, first removed. Right? That's probably who Kenny is. But he wouldn't know that because he ain't smart enough to look at his family tree. See, I'm talking about people down the line. We ain't talking about just for here and now. We talking about folk down the line. And I don't care about your bullshit restrictions
I see it.
or your punk violations, because to me it just make me know I'm telling the truth to y'all and y'all don't like me. I don't care if you don't like me. So what? The truth is the truth. That orange shitbag is going to tear this country apart. And the sooner y'all figure it out, the better off y'all will all be.
You really think Trump is going to do that bad? The country will be torn apart?
Tim, question.
Sure.
Was Iran actually ever talking to Steve Witkoff and J.D. Vance? Were they ever talking?
I don't believe they were at all. I believe Trump was...
No, they weren't. Nope, they weren't. They were never talking to them. And the Iranians told y'all that when they left the other day, right?
Yeah.
But guess what Trump said? Trump said, I didn't need to send them because I knew it wasn't worth sending them. Really? Tim, how long does it take for you to fill up a oil and gas tanker off the coast of Texas?
That I don't know.
50 days.
Damn.
So if in fact there are more than 120 oil and gas tankers coming to the Gulf of Mexico in by Texas, where are they all going to park? Because we don't even have enough gas to fill those, right?
That I can't speak on. I'm going to plead ignorant on that. I'm going to plead ignorant. I don't want to, listen, I'll be the first to admit I won't go down paths if I don't know what the hell is going on. I'll admit I don't know that.
I want you to subscribe to Mr. Global. Mr. Global is a guy who still works. He's retired from the oil and gas field, but he has a prevalent bevy of information about oil and gas, right? And right now, he is telling everybody the exact truth. Y'all are dumb as fuck if y'all think anything that orange shitbag did with Venezuela or any of this is doing. Y'all have any idea about anything that's going on right now, you wouldn't be wanting him to do this. Because all he is doing is market manipulation. The whole idea is market manipulation. Besides that, he is screwing the farmers. When we don't have any food and y'all are sitting waiting for food like in a gruel line, like what we were in the Great Depression. Thank you.
You really don't think it's going to get that fucking bad, do you?
Yeah, I do. Let me tell you something. Remember April 10th, 410, what was it, 15 days ago? That was the last day to plant for fall harvest. Guess what? 65% of the farmers on April 10th did not have enough grain to plant.
Real quick in the comments, you are being challenged. Rudy Roo says Google says it takes 24 to 36 hours to fill that tanker. So he said you're way off.
Okay, 36 hours to fill a gigantic oil tanker.
I'm just telling you what he's saying.
I'm gonna ask him to go look up Mr. Global because that's where I got my numbers from. Somebody who's actually done it, not just Google AI. Thanks.
Speaking of AI, I wonder could Alexa respond to that? Alexa, how long does it take to fill up an oil tanker?
Filling an oil tanker typically takes between 9 to 24 hours, depending on its size and the facility's capacity. Super tankers may require up to 36 hours for a complete load.
Notice what that said, size.
You said 50 days.
It does take
50 You said 50 days.
Well, you know what? This is what we'll see. When they all show up and there's a line in the Gulf of Mexico, then we'll see what happens.
I don't know, but right now it seems like he's more accurate than you. 50 days. He's saying 36 hours. You all with 50 days and 36 hours are like worlds apart.
Yeah, it is worlds apart, and we're gonna see. That's all I can tell you. We're gonna see.
Okay,
no matter to me, because it's not. Listen, we're not gonna be able to do it really anyway. Because I mean, what you're not understanding is we don't have facilities big enough to continue to fill those boats. So regardless of it, even if it did take 36 hours, think about that. 36 hours to get one gigantic ship out the way. Because we're not talking about a small maritime vessel. We're talking about an oil tanker.
I get it.
Which is the size of one of those gigantic cargo Maersk ships that, take 6, maybe 7 minutes.
I don't know I don't know what the pressure is like, but taking 50 days does seem like insanely high. I mean, I know it holds millions of barrels. I get it, but I mean, I don't know what pressure is coming, but yeah, taking 50 days seems...
Hey, we're gonna see, because according to y'all know more than me, right? I know more than Mr. Global. So I'm not. I mean, either way it goes, I'm not mad at it. Either way it goes, right. I'm not caring, because the points that I've already made have already happened. So
We'll leave it
Make
at that.
y'all don't got corn. Blame that on me then. It's all my fault. Yep, y'all right.
Give Trump a chance. Maybe he'll rescue him.
Y'all right. Y'all MAGA folks told me if I voted for Kamala, we was gonna be no problem, have no problem with wars, we was gonna have no problem with money, no problem with oil, none of that, right? Y'all told me if I voted for her, none of that stuff was gonna happen, right?
Well,
but what happened?
He slipped on a few
Because I
things.
voted for Kamala. Are
slipped.
we in a war?
A few things changed. I gotta move it on, though, King. A few things changed.
Yeah,
A few things changed.
A few things did change, didn't they?
A few things changed. He slipped on a few promises.
Ain't that why? Ain't that weird? Y'all told me I shouldn't vote for Kamala because we was gonna be in war. We wasn't gonna have no money. Everything was gonna go up. The price of gas is gonna be high as hell. All of that. Man, it's my fault. I voted for Kamala. You right. I shouldn't have did that. I should have listened to y'all.
I gotta go. You're dropping too many. You're dropping too many facts. I gotta go. Appreciate it, King. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you. Oh my Lord, that laugh is diabolical. Tap the screen. Get us up to 120 foul. Those pumps pump 31,000. What did I say? Barrels per hour. Now, I see somebody said 31 barrels an hour, it takes 20 days. I am totally ignorant on that. You know, you hear me often say I'm completely ignorant on this subject or that. I do talk about what I feel confident, knowledgeable about, but I also enjoy talking to you folks because a hell of a lot of you have more knowledge than others, including yours truly. This is never meant to be an avenue of know-it-all. That's why I favor having folks from all sides of the aisle. We all get to speak without censorship because I don't believe anyone, including yours truly, is a know-it-all. And I don't perpetrate to ever be one. I enjoy talking to everybody. And we remain MAGA friendly. You know what we say. Tap the screen. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap and hat and mustache go. We're getting close to it. So some of you folks have been showing the program some love. Maybe if he didn't get that much negative publicity from the news stations constantly bashing him for stuff he's not doing. Trump, there is no way, let me just say real quick, there's no way Trump will ever not get negative coverage from the media because he's always on TV saying negative things about the media. It's just the way it is. Unless you just expect or you prefer folks to just be a punching bag and let Trump talk. Like a perfect example, the right was complaining that no NATO member nations rushed to Trump's aid when it came to the Strait of Hormuz and dealing with Iran. But they had no problem with Trump saying all kinds of awful shit about the NATO member nations. I'm just going to tell you based on my personal analysis, I think from what I've seen, MAGA kind of wants Trump to be able to bash and attack people, but feel it's kind of wrong when they do it back. Remember, Trump was trolling the Obama presidency the entire time Obama was president, saying the guy was born in Kenya, saying the guy was going to start a war with Iran to get reelected back in 2011, some 5 years before Trump ran for president. They were totally okay with him bashing the shit out of Obama. But then when Trump became president and he started getting attacked, well, you've been attacking him since day one, indicating we didn't count any of the stuff he was doing to Obama at all. He just was an innocent guy coming down the golden escalator to run, and people started bashing him for no reason at all. He hadn't done anything wrong to anybody. So I do believe it's kind of like the whole they're yelling death to America, as we've been talking about, and they're not telling you why they're yelling it. They're attacking Trump at every turn, says MAGA, but they're not telling you why it's happening. He's just a great guy. He just wants to make America great again and do right by us all. And the Democrats are just attacking him for no reason whatsoever. That's the kind of way MAGA portrays this, because they're laughing and celebrating all the attacks from Trump going to other people. President Trump, just a few weeks ago, took to the internet and posted a picture of all of the Democrats, including the Obamas, as jungle animals. They laughed at it. But then when them same folks who were portrayed as animals start attacking Trump, it's suddenly wrong. I'm just simply saying, when you're laughing at those jokes that Trump posts, dumping shit on protesters or portraying himself as the Pope and all of these comedic jokes that you find funny, understand those jokes are at somebody's expense. Those jokes are at somebody's expense. So why is he being attacked all the time? Well, because he's attacking people. I just want you to understand that, as opposed to thinking he is just a president trying to do right by America and people are fucking with him for no reason at all. No, he's on the internet initiating a lot of those attacks and sparking them and keeping them going. You like when he does it. You like to see him throw punches. You don't like to see him take hits. That's not how a fight works. The guy don't just stand there and let you punch him all day. He swings back, and they don't like that part. I'm Native American and Jewish. Okay, I don't know if you're talking to me with that statement, but okay. Mr. Tribe stopped the pipeline going across the native lands, and we are still free. Trump is doing good, says that. Real quick in the comments, I have an old English name. My family has been here for generations. I can promise you that we aren't any better than other people or worse. Trolls crave attacks. Whatever the case may be, like I said, they like when Trump is attacking people, but they feel it is really wrong to see him get attacked. And it just does not work that way. You think all of these people, Democrats, media outlets, celebrities, you're just going to go around attacking all these people and they're just going to let you do it, huh? Nobody's going to do anything back. That's just insane to even think that's going. By the way, the president, commander-in-chief, he shouldn't be involved in this stuff. President shouldn't be involved in battles with celebrities and shit like that. He should not even be involved in it. It shouldn't be happening, is my opinion on it. Flame Train CBD, I think it says. Well, actually, I hit brother. Good evening, brother, if it brings him up. I saw the old men ducking. What do you mean by that? I didn't vote for Trump, but he is protecting us, bro. Possibly. I'm not, look, for me, the jury's still out. I'll just tell you this. How is Trump doing as president? There are two answers. One, he's doing a fantastic job as president. And that comes from, if you simply believe all of the accomplishments that Trump is doing for this country based on what he is saying, if you simply believe all of the things that Trump is telling you that he's doing for this great nation, he's a fantastic president. Probably one of the best we've had in a long time. But if you actually ask questions, desire receipts, and want to see proof of what he's doing for the country, he's not going to be as great. So when you hear folks saying Trump is the best president we've ever had, understand it's coming from folks who believe the accomplishments he is saying. Fair enough. They're not asking questions. Some people believe Trump is trustworthy, honest, honorable, and you don't have to see any evidence. That's fine. Those folks believe Trump is doing a better job than anybody that's come along in a long time. Because that's what Trump is also saying, is he's one of the best presidents we've ever had. I think Trump has stated many times he's done more for blacks than anybody since Abraham Lincoln. If you're black and you believe that, and you don't need any receipts, hey, best president you've had in your lifetime, even for black people. But if you need to see receipts, you need to see proof, you want questions answered, he's not going to measure up that high anymore. So that's why some folks think he's doing such a great job and others do not. Which side are you on? Receipts or trust? It's as simple as that. Looking in the comments, we public should always stand for justice and truth. Okay. Y'all black Yankees mad too, man. In the comments, it's wrong to attack the sitting president. You should always have the greatest respect. Rick Young, while I agree with you, I have to also point out respect has to be earned. I mean, if the man is saying, I hate Democrats, are you saying that Democrats should still respect him? If he's saying Democrats hate America, you're not patriotic, and just saying a bunch of bad shit about Democrats, should they just let him do it? This is what I talked about earlier, being a punching bag. Should they just stand by and let him say all of that and just keep respecting him when he's clearly disrespecting them? You realize how many Democrats serve in the military, serve in law enforcement, nurses, doctors, doing all kinds of shit to make the country function? They hate the country they're working for, putting their lives on the line for, serving every day. They all hate it. Should they just respect them and ignore that? I got the perfect guess to answer that. Doomsday. Good evening. Welcome to the program.
You are out of your goddamn mind.
What did I do?
Seriously, you have jumped the nut. You are completely. You are blaming They tried to kill the man again tonight.
Who are they?
What do you mean? Who are they? Whoever it is that took the shots at him and his wife.
Were the shots fired at him?
Well, they rushed him off the stage. They tried to kill him 4
times.
They
rushed him off the stage.
Who are they trying to kill?
They rushed him off the stage.
Who at the correspondence dinner are they trying to kill?
They rushed him off the stage because an eagle got near him one damn day. That don't mean nobody was trying to kill a guy.
How many times? All right, tell me. So you're saying that he wasn't the target at the correspondence
I'm asking.
dinner? No, I'm asking you. You seem to make it seem like that you don't believe that he was the target. They've tried to kill the man 4 times.
4 times?
Well, you tell me, what has he done to deserve to die over? You tell me that.
I don't know, maybe a few schoolgirls that lost their lives in school and he tried to blame it on the Iranians. That might be something. Perhaps calling people domestic terrorists when they got killed by ICE.
Domestic terrorists. You're going to go and advocate that the president deserves it. That's what I'm saying. You've lost your fucking mind.
If that is, hold on. If one of them folks, Alex Preddy or Renee Nicole Good, was related to me and they went all the way to the level of calling them a fucking terrorist, I'm not saying those people were doing I'm not saying they were necessarily good guys, but to jump all the way up to domestic, yeah, I wouldn't like them, man.
They were. Listen, you got to call people what they are.
No fucking
now,
terrorists.
Look, if you're saying because you don't agree with the president's politics, or because the president said something that you don't like, that you can just walk in and start taking shots, that dude got what he got. President's being pretty well protected.
There is no. I'm going to tell you.
But you are going to live in a country soon. Very soon, you're going to live in a country that you really, really, really don't like.
Some would say we're already there.
Okay, well, guess what? Expect more of it, and I'm gonna vote for it. I'm gonna let him do it.
What are you expecting? What are you indicating he's going to do? Wait, what the hell are you indicating he's going to do?
Well, I'm telling you, he's going to do what he needs to do.
Which
you
is?
Keep taking shots at him, whatever he wants to do. I'm going to give this president as much lead as he needs. Now,
what are you suggesting?
You're going to come crying to me, and I'm going to say, listen, you took too many shots at this guy.
So you're suggesting
he's going to say some ugly stuff.
You're going to make him. Are you going to make him into a king or something?
100%. As long as he wants that office, he's got it, as far as I'm concerned.
So you would be okay with Trump 2028?
28, 34, 45.
34?
Yeah. We will reincarnate that motherfucker just so he stays your president.
What is
Don't you worry.
Oh my
It'll
Lord.
be Trump all day. Barron's grandkids will still be your president.
I think you got. I'm going to give you a phrase, and you tell me if you ever heard of this, because it's making me think of you. Have you ever heard of the phrase called Trump derangement syndrome?
No, that's you.
No, that's you.
That's you and all of your little minions thinking that because the president ain't giving you free shit today, that you can take free shots at the president.
You are doing.
You got a press that doesn't even. You've got a press that doesn't even report on like real things that are going on just so they can take shots at the president.
I'm damn near tempted to tell you to turn your camera on so I can see what the straitjacket looks like. It sounds like you're calling me from one of them asylums. You are deranged.
You are the one. Every time you open your mouth, all I hear is. That's what I hear. You gotta be kidding me. And by the way, you keep piling it on. Well, she deserved it because of the way she's dressed. I mean, listen to yourself, dude.
What? I just had a
You're
guess.
saying that the president deserves people going after him, trying to kill him. And look at your face.
Yeah.
You're going, yeah.
Listen,
Well,
let me, and you make a good point. Let me explain that. And by the way, SGB wants me to ask you, where the hell is the dollar gas? You'll forever be remembered for making that statement that gas was going to be $1 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I want, and I'll listen to it from the first one of your audience that's never been wrong about something. So shut the fuck up. Who gives a shit?
By the way, while he's telling my audience to shut the fuck up, help your boy with the hat and mustache TikTok cap go. We're pretty damn close. Yeah.
Come on, get in there and beg for that money.
What the fuck ever? You're I ain't selling crypto like the president you talking about, robbing the whole fucking country.
Hey, look, I ain't hating you. Make your nut. I don't care. All I'm saying to you is you need to go a little easy. They are trying to kill this man, and for what?
I'm gonna let me give you more clarity, because you seem to think that I want or I support somebody trying to
you
take.
do.
No, I don't.
Oh, no. You definitely do. You are all in on this.
Okay.
100%.
Let me, because this is the same response I give folks who say I'm all in on Trump. All my liberals that say I'm MAGA. It's a big difference between favoring something and just simply explaining something you clearly understand. I don't. Hold on, and I don't favor the mindset of MAGA, but I understand it. I don't favor taking Trump's life, but I understand. Hold on, and let me explain it. I've said this many times. Trump makes enemies for breakfast. If you continue to make enemies, talking shit about people, ruining lives, firing people, doing all this, yeah, people gonna want to take you out. That's what's going to happen.
No. You want a crash test dummy. You want someone that's going to take your bullshit and not say a word about it.
Please.
And fuck you for that.
Okay.
There's no, that's not who you got. That's not who I voted for. You're used to the George Bushes. You're used to the Mitt Romneys that aren't going to say anything and are going to be polite to you.
You said I'm used to the motherfuckers that live, the ones that nobody was trying to kill. Those people.
Yeah.
The
ones that would do whatever you wanted them to do.
Yeah, the ones that ain't gonna be 6 feet old. The ones that ain't gonna be 6 feet under for talking shit. Here lies Trump. Here lies Trump. Here lies Trump. He was the greatest president we ever had. Killed for talking shit. That guy.
Yeah, keep trying. Keep going. By the way, people like you get visits from the CIA or from the FBI.
What are they gonna say? I didn't
say, Tim, they're going to ask you questions about, and by the way, you're right. There is a difference but you're crossing that line.
How? In what manner?
Every word that's coming out of your mouth, you just keep adding sticks to the fire and saying, "Oh, it wasn't me." You keep adding sticks to the fire.
Well, I am a big fan
you need to calm the fuck down.
I am a big fan of Shaggy. It wasn't me, but I don't get.
It was you.
I don't get how it's okay to suggest that people are eating pets. They're coming from prisons and insane asylums. But when you say something bad about Trump, hold on. All of the shit that hold on. You're accusing the LGBTQ community of abusing children. You're accusing immigrants from coming from insane asylums, raping and murdering everybody. But when you say something bad about Trump, now you're trying to get him hurt, huh? You don't see that?
By the way, no, because everything he said is true. Everything he said is 100% true. He was talking about countries that literally emptied their insane asylums and sent those people here. He wasn't talking about immigration. He wasn't talking about people who immigrated here. He was talking about literal South American countries that literally took their prisons and their insane asylums and sent the motherfuckers to this country. That happened.
Folks, before this guest came on, I talked about reasons why you would think Trump's the best person ever versus those who want receipts. There are no receipts of insane asylums being emptied out.
There are receipts.
There are no receipts. Name me one of the institutions that let everybody out and they came to America. Name me one of the prisons that it happened to.
You wouldn't recognize the name, dude. All you have to listen, you're telling me that there aren't apartment complexes in Denver, Colorado, in Rancho Cucamonga, California. There are places everywhere with MS-13 only living there.
That ain't what we're talking about. You said some.
Yes, we are.
You're saying some facility, whether it's an insane asylum or a prison, was completely emptied, and all the people from that facility came to America. That's what Trump is saying. That is inaccurate.
And that is what happened in a long line that walked all the way through Mexico,
So they-
straight into the country. You are not going to tell your audience that this 15 to 20 million people did not come into the country. Are you really going to say that?
In the comments, Juice says I live in Denver, and that's not true about that apartment complex.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, dude, I'm telling you right now. So you're telling me that these are all wonderful people that lined up in a very orderly queue, walked all the way through Mexico, all the way through Argentina, all the way from South America, walked right into this, even if that were true, which it's not. It's not. Even if that were true, you set yourself up by allowing 15 million people undocumented into your country. Those people spent $55 billion of your tax money per year of the Biden administration. Your money, my money. And you don't have a damn thing to say about it.
First of all, I don't believe that a prison or an insane asylum was empty, and everybody said, "Oh, we all, where you just won the Super Bowl. Where are you going?" "I'm going to Disney World." They all said, "We gonna all walk through all these countries and head to America." And all those countries.
Did you watch that on the news? You didn't see that on the news? The
No.
people coming in this country?
No, I don't
Is that what
see.
you're saying?
I don't see anything on the news of an insane asylum being empty and all of its inhabitants coming to America. No, I
Told you
don't.
all about it. They
Yeah.
told you all about it.
Yeah,
They
the
even
Trump
asked Kamala.
administration. Yeah, the Trump
even asked
administration.
They even told Kamala. Biden
Kamala.
said, "Hey, we're gonna put
Kamala.
We told Kamala.
That shit ain't that hard to pronounce. Can you heard of the punctuation?
She changes it every. Have you heard her accent? Her accent changes every time she opens her mouth. So knock it off. The vice president. How's that? The former vice president. The president tells the former vice president, "Hey, you're going to go down and handle the border." She said, "Nah, motherfucker, I ain't doing that." Never went to the border ever.
Hold on. Trump has posted a picture on True Social of the suspected shooter. He's look like it's a black man. He's laying face down. No reason for a black person to want to take out Trump, huh? No, he's alive. He's alive. This guy's alive. He's handcuffed, face down, hog-tied. No, and the cops are standing over him. He looks like he's totally
CNN
alive.
needs to get that. CNN needs to get that through it. They need to start reporting better. I understand the president's frustration. No matter what he does, it's negative. If one half of the country thinks that it's negative, and I understand why you think that. When someone is not handing you things, you don't like that person. You got to be given shit. Your vote has to be purchased.
No.
And I understand that.
No.
But that's not what's happening right now. We don't need your vote. We didn't need to buy your vote this time. So, just deal with it.
No,
and you keep trying this shit.
What am I trying?
You keep trying this shit, dude.
What am I trying?
You keep trying to kill the president. I mean, you think that there are no ramifications for actually trying to assassinate a president of the United States? You think that the other half of the country is just going to go, "Oh, okay, well, I guess we'll elect another one." Dude, are you kidding me? I will take a hard right so fast it will boggle your mind.
I think what you're getting wrong is you guys automatically assume that anybody trying to take out the president is a Democrat or the opposition. You realize that there are.
You think it was a MAGA? You think MAGA is trying to take out the president?
I got motherfuckers apologizing for even voting for MAGA. Tucker Carlson is out there like I got the Hodge twins saying that he's a pathological liar. There's a lot of MAGA. There's a lot of MAGA that lost their. Hold on.
You guys got all this open free time. Y'all haven't worked.
There are MAGA that have lost their farms and businesses. There's disgruntled MAGA all over this great nation. Yeah, it could be MAGA.
This guy was Blaga. This guy was Blaga on his face in the middle of the correspondence dinner after taking pot shots at Melania. That's your story. This is what, listen, you should not be allowed to vote. You understand? You should not get a vote in this country.
I don't think Trump wants me to vote anyway. I think he's going to try to take it away.
I'm going to talk to him about it. We're gonna fix this shit. You should not be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to leave your home. You're crazy.
Some of the shit you say, I want to take you out to pasture and have a conversation with you. Listen.
Guess what? Go out there with me. See which one of us comes back.
How about we just settle it on? Instead of going to pasture, how about we just hang out at a correspondence dinner one evening? I think we can get more accomplished there.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Secret Service that you're armed. See what's up. See how you like it. Look, we have got to listen. For real.
For real? Where the hell you hear that from? You watching Yo MTV Raps or something? Where you hear for real from? Go ahead. What are you about to say?
You are the most racist person that I speak to. I want you to know that.
I'm the least racist person you know.
Now you own for real.
I am the least.
You own that.
I am the least racist person you know. You probably heard that before.
No. That is definitely not true. That's
what I said when he said that. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said when he said that shit. You know that ain't true.
One of your minions got mad at me because I said the hood. They got mad at me for saying on the block. I mean, what all do you guys own?
You don't even go to.
What do you think you own in the language? What all in the language can we say without your permission?
Maybe.
How about fuck yourself? How about that? Can we say fuck you and fuck yourself? Because that's what I feel like saying.
You okay over there? You sound like the president at a dinner.
No, I'm not. I'm not. And I'll tell you why. You wouldn't be okay either.
No, I wouldn't be. If I voted for somebody that was on Truth Social insulting half the fucking country like Trump does all the time, I wouldn't like them, even if they were on my side.
You did what?
If I voted for a president, a liberal, that was on the internet insulting people constantly like Trump does, I would not be happy with them. I wouldn't like them.
That would not bother me, but you know
but that's the problem, though, is that you believe that people. No, what you believe is that people should view the president the way you do. Go ahead and finish.
I would be less worried about what the president said than what the president does. Barack Obama, his administration, he used the OSHA, he used the FBI, the ATF, he used the IRS. How many scandals did we have to go through with the man because he kept attacking his political rivals?
And that ain't happening. And Trump ain't doing that. And Trump ain't doing that at all, huh? And Trump ain't doing any of that at all, huh? He's not attacking political rivals.
No. He says mean things. No one's accused him of that. He says mean things. Obama, he sicked Lois Lerner on half of the country.
Have you ever heard of a woman named Pam Bondi?
Yes.
He wasn't attacking.
What did she do?
Comey, Letitia James, that was some bullshit.
They all broke the law. I mean, but Letitia James, she's going to prison. You can't break the law.
The charges against her pretty.
To jail. You're gonna be visiting her in the Hooskow, baby.
Let me tell you
She's going
something.
to jail.
Let me tell you something. Here's what I mean when I say attacking his adversaries. Before Trump came along, the DOJ had like a 96% conviction rate. He is having so many indictments thrown out. He is actually dropping their conviction rate because so many people are being charged and they're not being convicted, and he's losing so much in court that the DOJ is the DOJ.
What are you taking? You go to the Supreme. What is his record in the Supreme Court? By the time he gets to the Supreme Court, he is right now 28-2. 28-2 in the Supreme Court.
That's not accurate. That's not accurate.
Yes, it is accurate. His record in the Supreme Court is there's never been a president with a better record in the Supreme Court ever.
Alexa,
in the United States.
What is Trump's record with the Supreme Court?
Some help.
Trump has had a strong record with the Supreme Court, winning 18 consecutive cases until a recent 6-3 ruling against his tariff policy. The court has generally supported his administration's positions on immigration, federal workforce, and other key issues.
Alexa, stop. She made a mistake.
No, she didn't make no
She
damn
made a
mistake.
mistake.
You made the mistake.
That's-
You made the mistake.
That's bad AI.
Do not want to be messing with this dude. He's the best president that we have had in our American history.
What the fuck? What has Trump done to get the title of best president in American history?
He hasn't been the best for you. He has not been the best for you. I'll grant you that.
Thank you.
You always sit there with your hand out. What have I gotten? What are you going to do for me? Me. So no, you're not going to like him. He's expecting responsibility out of you, something you shy away from.
Okay, forget me. What has he done for you to suggest he's the best president in history?
Well, let's just, number one, tariffs, readjusting the way money flows around this world, around this planet. That's number one. Venezuela, that's number two. Getting the NATO to realize that they got to step up and start defending themselves, and rather than expecting us to do. I mean, I could go on all night.
None of this
You're
shit.
going to give me another 3. Nope, that's it. That's my time. And by the way, tonight is the first night we have spoken for 20 minutes where there's none of your little chickens that have come up with a galaxy. And I'm ashamed for them. You guys are broke, and your minds are broken.
I haven't even got a hat mustache or a TikTok cap while you've been
I
on.
know, nothing.
They just hate you.
They don't know what they're hearing.
I was trying to find that picture that Trump posted of the shooter, but he just did it, and it's not on YouTube yet. But I think you're totally wrong on Trump. I asked you to name what he's done to get the best. The stuff you name does not have any effect on the average American. How the hell does an American benefit?
Of course it does. But here's why. Okay? Just because you don't think that your paycheck went up because of the things he did.
Okay.
Here we go. Finally, they got some couch cushions cracked open.
Happy 2024. You didn't put go ahead and put in the request. We'll bring you right up if you want to talk to the guest. I seen the galaxy. I don't see.
Well, I gotta go, but I'm happy to. Yeah, you get paid, not me. I don't get any.
Well,
of that
let
money.
me make it clear. When I asked you to give me what Trump has done that's so great, the stuff you named, how does the average American benefit from us taking out Maduro?
Again, so this is your mindset. You don't seem to understand that I don't think the same way you do.
I understand that. I'm talking to a lobotomy patient. I understand you don't think the same way I do.
When you're looking in the mirror, you are, yes. But me, I look at how good is this affecting the country? $270 billion in tariff revenue. Readjusting manufacturing and bringing manufacturing back home. That's jobs for people. Becoming dominant in AI, bringing more jobs back to people. Instilling a sense of confidence and love of the country. Again, very beneficial to those of us who actually want to live in a country. Reversing the amount of people that flood in from other countries. That's all very good for you.
Yeah, I think you're the first person. Like when I mentioned the reasons why you like Trump, I think most of the stuff you're naming are just things that Trump has cited as accomplishments.
Of course, because he didn't sign a check for you, and you don't pick up
Why does this guy? Biden didn't sign a fucking check for me either. Neither did Obama.
Bro, I changed my mind about Trump. I've been an avid Trump supporter. Me and Trump's honeymoon is over. You making all Republicans look bad. You need to shut the fuck up.
Hey, Flame, you know where you can put those
hey,
lips?
nothing.
Go ahead, get the sucking.
No.
Yeah.
I'll wait till you're done, then I'll speak about what I want to speak
You
about.
paid your money. Go ahead.
No, he's not I brought him up, but he's not a Galaxy guy. You said you were about to go Doomsday, so I'll go ahead and drop you, and I'll hear his point of view.
I'll holler at you later.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming through Doomsday. You don't make it easy, but thank you. All right, Flame Train. Good evening.
What's going on?
Now
brother?
you mentioned he's making Republicans look bad. Are you suggesting that you voted for Trump?
Yes, sir.
All three times?
And I've changed my mind here in the past month, bro. I'm so tired of it. I'm over it.
Why are you not favorable to Trump the way my last guest started? What made you change your mind? And thank you, Danny Dan, for the hat and mustache. Appreciate it. What made you change your mind?
First of all the lies he told about Iran. I don't know how many times we've come to a deal, and then the next thing you know, a couple of days later, ain't no deal no more, and then we back into it with him. He's kind of hurt my business, honestly. That whole MJ rescheduling thing, you know, I'm in the hemp industry.
Okay.
Well, the whole rescheduling thing is all smoke and mirrors. That whole deal is nothing to do with anything but big tax cuts for big cannabis corporations and big pharma. Them wanting to control the money, control the plant, control the people. And bro, I have backed him for a very long time. I've been on your show before. But just like King was on here talking about it, I'm kind of starting to think some of this stuff might be orchestrated. I mean, I try not to get into conspiracies too much, but I know y'all done seen the episode of The Simpsons where they took him out when he was president and everything else. And man, stuff just ain't adding up no more, man. And I'm just, dude, I'm over it, man.
You believe now? You, as a 3-time Trump voter, you believe that some of these assassination attempts may be staged?
It's starting to seem that way because it's happening too much.
It is happening a lot for one dude, but this one dude makes a lot of enemies, man. This guy has a lot of enemies.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. He really does. But like, with all the Secret Service members and everybody that he's surrounded by, especially at the White House with this last one that happened tonight, how does that even happen?
I can't answer that.
I mean, I tried to go through it in my mind with common sense, man, and I couldn't make it make no kind of sense. As soon as everybody started talking about it in the chat, and I started Googling, I'm like, man, what is going on for real? And you know, I've never leaned completely one way or the other, man. I voted for Obama in his first term. But at the same time, man, the more I sit back and I look at the past few decades, like I'm almost 50 years old, it just seems like all of them feed us long line of bullshit on both sides of the aisle, and everything is just to benefit them. And not many of us out here in the real world are benefiting from much of everything, and it's causing so much division. Like it's become so.
But you heard my last guest indicate that the tariffs in Venezuela is going to bring a windfall to the country. You heard him point out that Trump is, in addition to saying he's the best president we've ever had, you heard him point out all of the great things Trump is doing. You don't seem to have the same sentiment. I mean,
no, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. No, I think he did pretty good in his first presidency. That's why I voted for him again the other 2 times. But the more that I've sat back and the longer this presidency been going on, man, it's been more bullshit than it has anything, because he's bullshitting about a lot of shit.
Well, so you definitely have some sort of bias remorse. But do you really, even if you don't favor what he's doing as a commander-in-chief, do you really think President Trump himself, Mr. Drain the Swamp, is exposed to deep state? You think he is capable of staging his own assassination attempt?
Man, as long as he's been talking about draining the swamp, and the swamp ain't been drained yet, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if the pipes clogged up or what. But I feel like that's all turned into bullshit too, man. Like I followed all that stuff just like all the rest of MAGA did, and bro, I have completely changed my stance in the past month and a half. I'm about done.
So no Trump 2028 flags in your house?
Man, hell no.
Wow. Oh man, I mean, shit. Surely he's done something good for the country, in your opinion, right?
I mean, the one and only thing that I could think of maybe is immigration, and that's about it. But I could give a damn less about immigration, honestly. You know, people need to come in the right way and all that. But at the same time, we all know a lot of them work on the construction sites. I was in the construction industry for the government for a very long time, for over 2 decades. They out there picking our food and everything else, just like, you know, King was on here talking about. And who's going to take them jobs, man? Me or you? We ain't about to go out there and work in them fields and pick that food, man. Let's be real.
I don't disagree with that. By the way, I got News Nation on in the back. Trump is just releasing all the fucking evidence. I don't know this guy who's alive. You know, if he goes to trial, I don't know if what Trump is doing could hurt the case or whatever for the government. But he's now released videos of the fucking shooting. He just releasing everything. Trump ain't holding nothing secret. I guess maybe he thinks folks like you exist that may try to say he's lying. So he releasing everything.
Did anybody actually get hit by the shooter? Have they said anything?
I haven't seen any indication. Well, no, I haven't heard him say anything. Well, I don't have the audio up, so I'm just looking at the ticker, and I haven't heard that anybody got hit. Seeing the comments, people are saying no one hit. Somebody said one officer was hit. I'm not hearing it, but Trump is just releasing it.
And I guess the other big thing that really, really bothers me is how polarized everything has become. And what I mean by that is how divided everybody has become. Like, 10, 20 years ago, man, we wasn't this divided.
Yeah, but you voted for Trump 3 times. Did you expect, did he ever even indicate even an iota that he was seeking unity? I mean, you had to know that was what was happening. I mean, the guy been saying everything he could about the media and fucking celebrities. He was attacking Obama before it became. You knew you were going to have a divisive climate by you voting for him, right?
Well, yes and no. And the reason I say that, because I was already starting to see some of this divide before, his first presidency. It just like what I'm saying is it's getting worse and worse under him than it was before then. And like you can watch the comment section, man, and like people are so quick to jump on race and everything else, man, and I ain't about all that. And everybody should love everybody, but until all of us can find some sort of middle ground, man, shit ain't gonna get no better.
Yeah, but this guy is saying that, immigrants are rapists and murderers. He called for a total and complete ban on Muslims. The Haitians are eating cats and dogs. The Somalis are garbage. Chicago's a shithole. So is Baltimore. I mean, you have to know we're going to be divided as hell. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you that division existed before Trump. But in this case, it's coming directly out of the Oval Office now. Before Trump, we were divided based on people liking and disliking Obama or Bush or something like that. We never had a president that was, he literally is the conductor of the orchestra. He's doing it himself.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And it's just, man, it's sad the way things are becoming. And I don't know, man, it's just,
you almost kind of sound like Tucker Carlson now, man.
Bro, probably because I feel the same way Tucker Carlson feels, and everybody else that's changed their mind. I mean, if you think about it, man, like here in this next election, the Republicans and the Democrats are both gonna have to give us some better choices than we had in this last election. I mean, we need somebody to step up to bring everybody back together instead of dividing us all.
Why did you? Okay, let me ask you this: there were like 9 other Republicans that tried to primary Trump. The Nikki Haley's, the Ron DeSantis, Chris Christie. Why didn't you go with one of them?
Man, they ain't gonna let nobody like that on the ticket. Everybody knew it was gonna be Trump. I mean, I feel like both sides they literally already know who they have picked before all that even starts, before the debates start. I feel like all of it's orchestrated on both sides.
But do you think one of them would have been a better president?
Possibly. DeSantis, I don't know, man. That dude, he seems kind of fake to me. Man, I would have settled for Marco Rubio at this point.
You may still get your chance. He may be next.
Yeah.
Would you support a Marco Rubio presidency now, considering he has been a key part of this administration?
Well, that all depends on what Marco Rubio's doing in the background. And yeah, man, that's a hard one to answer, to be totally honest with you. Man, I've lost faith in this whole run. I really have, man, and it's really frustrating. It is, man, because he talked a big game, and I'm still sitting here waiting to watch and see all this shit he said he was going to do. I'm tired of waiting.
What about his invasion of Iran, suggesting that we had to stop them from becoming a nuclear power, and that has made America safer? Do you agree with that?
Man, I think that whole thing's to do with China. This was to get back at China, just like the other guy was talking about. Man, you know, they was talking about we couldn't have no more magnets and blah 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 blah. And then Trump was like, "Well, fuck it, we gonna fuck up Iran, and y'all ain't gonna get no fucking oil." I think that's what that's all about. It's just a power move, is all it is. He's trying to control their economy, and in the meantime, we're sitting over here and it's fucking our economy up while he's over there fucking with theirs. I mean, the petrodollar drives everything. That's why grocery prices are going up, cost of goods are going up, everything's going up. It's gonna keep going up while this is going on.
Yeah. Wow. So based on your statements, I'm just hearing that he's fucking up. Is he doing anything right?
Right now, at this moment, no. Not that I can fucking see.
Wow.
Because I ain't seen no damn arrests from none of these files or none of that shit. And I don't feel like even if a Democrat was in office, like, and you can give me your opinion on this, I don't think ain't none of them gonna snitch on the other, one side or the other. I don't think nobody's gonna go to jail for shit.
I agree about 80% on that, because the Epstein files existed under the Biden administration, and I would assume the Obama administration knew that pedophile ring was taking place too. I think the only way you would get a Democrat to release it has to be a Democrat that has something to prove. That's not a good old boy. Somebody that rolls through the ranks, that we aren't, like when Obama became president, he was not a good old boy. He had only been in Washington for 2 years. He was a community organizer, and then he was a Harvard law professor, and he had only been in the Senate for 2 years. Somebody like that, which is exactly what they told us Trump was. He was a businessman, had his own money. He didn't play into the DC politics. They told us that's what he was. He got in office and he started acting like a good old boy. But what I'm saying is that's the kind of person you like a Bernie Sanders. Well, Bernie Sanders probably is one too. But you'd have to get somebody that is not connected with that community and actually benefits by releasing stuff like that. Most of these folks, they're connected with the community, and they would actually lose stuff by opening the Epstein files. You got to get somebody that ain't got nothing to lose, only things to gain, and they would gain somebody doing it. It had to be a no-name coming out of nowhere to do that.
What I'd like to see is us have three choices: have Democrat, Republican, and Libertarian, instead of just having two. I think that might level the playing field a little bit. Maybe we start getting a little bit better results. But it just seems like we got to choose between two motherfuckers every time.
You do have those three choices. You just need enough of you to vote for libertarians. I mean, look, at the end of the day, there's far more money among Republicans and Democrats. But you've had folks that are different, like Ross Perot got like 20% of the vote. I mean, you do have people like that out there. You just got to get enough people to stick with their guns and vote for them. It ain't enough libertarians to propel one of them to the top.
I know, man. And it's like we won't ever see nothing like that in our lifetime. It seems like it's always going to be Democrat or Republican, don't it?
Well, Trump is not a Republican, and Bernie Sanders was not a Democrat, and both of them done very well. So it can happen. It's just, imagine having a libertarian candidate run as a Republican, even though he has libertarian views. Trump is not a Republican. He's a populist. He just ran as a Republican, and he won and represents that party now. Find you a good libertarian that has libertarian views, but he convinces the RNC to let him run, like Trump did.
Yeah, and at one time, Trump used to be Democrat back years and years ago, too, at one point.
Yeah. I think Trump is an opportunist. I think Trump is doing what's best for Trump. I got to move it on, Flame Train, but I think Trump is doing what's best for Trump.
Yeah, you got that shit right, because I'm serious, bro. I'm over this shit.
Sorry to hear you're disgruntled, man, but there are going to be some folks like Kamala Harris that'll suggest they tried to tell you. You just didn't listen. So I gotta send you a Kamala Harris was right about everything hat. Maybe.
I can't support her either, man. That's why I voted for Trump. Damn it, shit. That's what I'm saying. We got to have better choices, man. I hope this next election, I hope Democrats got somebody that's really good, and I hope the Republicans got somebody that's really good. We can only pray and hope. So I don't know, man.
Well, the last guy that offered hope, y'all didn't like him. How's that hope you change your thing working? I gotta go. Appreciate it. Flame Train. Right. Thank you. All right, tap the screen. Where are we at? 120, 130? Is that possible? Let me go back to the box. The fuck? Tap the screen, get the lights up to 135,000, if you will. Now stay on the MAGA bus for the 4 years. No, Demetrius. Look, there's not enough Democrats to beat MAGA. You saw that in 2024. So if some MAGA, I'm talking to you as somebody who may be on the left, if some MAGA become disgruntled with Trump and you start treating them like shit because they voted for Trump, knowing you don't have enough votes on your own to beat Trump, you're not helping your party out. You're not, I mean, look, they voted for Trump. Maybe they realize the error of their ways. Maybe they, look, I'm going to tell you something. I say this all the time. There are legitimate reasons to vote for Trump. There were a lot of legitimate reasons to vote for Trump. Even if you're African American, even if you're a minority, the man promised a lot of good shit. If you bought into those promises, I can't argue with you for voting for him. Now, folks on the left are going to say, why the hell didn't you realize he can't do all of that? I get it. But what I'm saying is everybody that voted for Trump didn't vote for him for malicious reasons. Some people were duped. Some people did believe he was going to end the Russian-Ukraine war, or was not going to get us into any more wars, or was going to give folks a stimulus check, or no tax on tips. People believe that stuff. You can't hate on people for hearing the speech of Trump, hearing the speech of Kamala Harris, and hearing something in the speech of Trump as a reason they voted for him. He's doing a hell of a lot of stuff right now. You had walked up at a Trump rally, and I know because I went to a couple of them, and you put a microphone, if you had to put a microphone at the face of a Trump supporter, 2023 and 2024 leading up to that election, and said, I believe this president is going to get us into a war with Iran. Do you believe that? They would have said no. I believe this president is going to get in there and threaten to take Greenland. They would have said no. He's done a lot of things that they didn't believe. I believe if he gets in there, gas prices are actually going to go up. They wouldn't have believed that. So the people voted, a lot of folks voted for Trump with good intentions, and it is Trump himself that deviated from those campaign promises and went left. If he had done what he campaigned on, this is what they voted for. They didn't know. Look, you got immigrants that, not immigrants, but you get, immigrants too that are naturalized American citizens. They believed he was going to get the bad immigrants out of the country. You came the legal way, or even if you came illegal and you're requesting asylum and you're going through the process now legal, he's going to get rid of folks that have came from your nation that are here committing felonies and major crimes. He's going to get rid of the bad immigrants. That's something you can get behind. I walked thousands of miles to get here. I ain't done nothing wrong since I got here, and I've been going through court cases, trying to scrap up money to stay here legally. I don't want somebody that came here the same way that's stealing cars and robbing people. Yeah, get rid of them. This is what he promised. Now, the person saying that didn't know he was going to get rid of them too because he didn't campaign on that. So, yeah, he actually said things that gave folks legitimate reason to vote for him. He just simply went the other way and did not do any of that stuff. Now, you may say you're savvy enough that you knew he was lying. You knew he wasn't going to do that stuff. Fair enough. They didn't. They believed him. They got duped. It happens. It actually happens. So I just want to say there are legitimate reasons to vote for the man. Now, if you're still supporting him, straight talk commerce, a la straight talk, that's different. That's now that he's made it clear he's not doing the shit he campaigned on. and in many cases has no intention of doing the things he campaigned on. If you're still supporting him, that's a different conversation. That's a whole different conversation. Anyway, I can't respond to that one. There are 0 reservations in Mexico, buddy. Also, go look at how big the mind. Oh, you guys are talking amongst each other. I do want to bring up a viewer. We'll go over to Instagram. Tap the screen, get us up to 135,000 on YouTube. On TikTok. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, smash that like button. We're here most weekdays. Sherbert, good evening.
Hanging out at the bar. I didn't expect you to actually pick up.
Oh, okay. Well, what am I getting wrong?
I mean, you're defending MAGA Reacts a lot. Not MAGA Reacts, Doom a lot.
I defended them in what way?
You let him go on all that crazy bullshit. I mean, you did stop him a couple of times, but man, that guy is the craziest motherfucker you have.
Well, he's devoted MAGA.
Yeah, craziest motherfucker.
Well, listen, MAGA thinks differently than folks on the left. Does that make him crazy?
That guy is.
What did he say that was crazy? We're talking about Doomsday Straight Talk Commerce.
Just right now, it's literally every single time. He goes on as if he knows every secret of the universe, and he doesn't understand common logic, let alone what's actually happening.
Well, okay, fair enough. We'll get into the show then. We'll leave it at that.
What's the topic of today, Tim?
Well, a couple of things I want to tell you. You kind of got a loud background out there. I'll see if we can.
Sorry about that. I get close to the music or I get close to the traffic.
Yeah, we're asking the question. Now that you got, it's gonna probably be hard to talk to you. Your background is so loud, man.
It might be a bad night. Sorry about that, Tim.
That's all right. You can come on back anytime. I'll make the effort to bring you up next time, man. I do see you.
All right, sorry about that, Tim. Have a good night.
You too. Enjoy the party.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on with the program. That was Sherbert. Sorry about that, Sherbert, but hopefully next time we can make it happen. Mexico ran with 2 parties for the longest till recently, with the last 2 presidents winning a progressive. Yeah, my other guest was talking about we need to have Democrats, Republicans, and Libertarians. Well, Libertarians connect more with the right, so we would need an additional party that connects more with the left, which would probably be progressives or I don't want to say socialists, probably progressives. Progressives are probably to Democrats what libertarians are to Republicans. I don't know if that's totally accurate because progressives are much further left than traditional Democrats. I don't know if libertarians are the same way. I don't know if libertarians are much further to the right, because libertarians are not like very hardcore religious or very oppressive to women's rights. I mean, if you go too far, if you go way to the right, women usually start losing rights, discrimination and racism. This is way far to the right. I'm not just talking about in America. I'm talking about anywhere where you have a far right society. Taliban, for instance, is a perfect example of far right. Women start losing rights. Different groups of people, minority groups, do not get fair play anywhere where things are really far. And I don't put libertarians in that category. So progressives are way far to the left. And that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, looking in the comments, human behavior is predictable to some degree. To some degree. Green jacket, blue jacket, who gives a shit? They are all messed up. Yeah, but it's different. You can have diarrhea or you can have cornrows in the toilet. It's a different type of shit. People say Democrats and Republicans are all the same bird. No, they're not. What some of the stuff Trump is doing, you would have never seen under a Democrat. So they don't all come from the same bird. Same thing with Bush. The Democrats would not have launched a 20-year war into Iraq. There are differences. There are big differences between the Democrats. Yeah, look, they all make money when they're in office. A lot of them lie and only care about themselves. But even still, the policies you get from Democrats versus Republicans are different. They're not the same. They're not two birds of the same feather or whatever. There are big differences in the direction that the country would go. For instance, if you're trans, you think the trans community believes that Democrats and Republicans are all the same? You think immigrants now believe that Democrats and Republicans are all the same? Blacks, Hispanics, no, there's big differences. There's big differences, in how things go. The wealthy versus the poor see big differences in the two parties. If you're poor, I tend to think the Democrat Party is much more favorable to you. If you're rich, the Republican Party is much more favorable to you. Why do I say that? Because the Republican Party believes that you should get tax decreases. The Democrats believe in tax increases. The only way you're going to help out the poor is to give them, you hear people talk about free shit all the time. They need housing assistance, tuition assistance, healthcare. The only way you're going to make that happen is by increasing taxes. If you're decreasing taxes, that stuff ain't going to be there for them. So the part that's for decreasing taxes is obviously going to be less favorable to people who are poor. The pull yourself up by your bootstraps party. Meaning I'm not here to do anything for you. You're on the ground, figure out a way to get up. If you can't figure out a way to get up, then you lie down there until you perish. I always say, in my opinion, the Republican Party with that mindset comes across as the don't ask me for shit party. No matter what it is, they got a reason why you shouldn't be able to get it. You should figure it out yourself. Okay, fine. Wealthy, Republican. Poor, Democrat. Looking in the comments, you need some help, my brother. That's what you're here for. I think this says Captain. That's what you're here for. You're here to help your boy out. Anyway, folks, I do appreciate the 132,000. You know how we do. Support the program. Tap the screen. When it gets a little slow, we have to go. Anyway, I do appreciate the 132,000. This is uncensored programming. We don't block, ban, or censor anybody. As always, feel free to follow the program if you haven't been watching us on Instagram, Substack, or TikTok. And if you're watching us on YouTube, give your boy a sub. Until then, we'll see you folks tomorrow. It's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Take care, and we'll be here tomorrow. We'll make it happen. See ya. And thank you very much on YouTube. There you go. I got to hit